Ian. And according to this, everybody has a green bar, so I think we're on, guys.
You're a green bar.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm just waiting for the Twitch notification
See
that we're good. I'm gonna open up my web browser.
Oh, okay. It works.
What's going on? You good?
Yeah.
All right, so I think I'm gonna do. Yeah, my computer doesn't want to play well today. What's up?
Things been lately today. I'll say that.
Hello.
We can hear. I can hear you at least. I don't know about.
Oh,
Al.
let me do an intro here.
Huh? What?
Can you hear him? Can you hear me, Justin? How about you?
I hear.
Yeah, I can hear everybody right now.
Okay.
Everybody.
All right, so let's do the intro here. Welcome to everybody.
Everybody.
Get your glow sticks and your glitter on.
Everybody.
So welcome everybody to episode number 3. Episode number 3 of Bring It to the Table. Myself, Mr. Max Fallis, aka Mellow Yellow, is here yet again with 3 fine cohorts where we will discuss things that make you go ow. To my right today, to my left today, we've got the big chubby cubby bear, aka Uncle Phil, aka Reverend Cub Daddy, Mr. Roundhouse. What's going on?
I actually love that name more than anything.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Reverend Cub Daddy.
Before we get the show started, we do have to do a wonderful shout out to Mr. Cub Daddy for his birthday. So the crowd will say happy birthday. Actually, we're going to sing the quote unquote black version, which is happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. No trademark infringement intended. Please don't strike us for that use of material. So, Mr. Roundhouse, how you doing, buddy? Congratulations on another cycle around the sun.
Thank you. I feel good now that I'm home.
Jay Twitch has just popped into the chat. He says, happy birthday.
I feel good that I'm home after a long day of doing nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I got my food. I got my favorite dish. So if anybody, thank you for the birthday, Jay Twitch. Thank you. I got my favorite dish. I got a couple things because I wasn't beat for not getting something for my birthday. Just me personally. I got food. Hence why I'm fat anyway. So I got my favorite dish, which is arroz con pollo with papa a la huancaína. If you don't know what that is a Peruvian dish. It is rice. It's green rice and chicken with Spanish sauce, basically. And it comes with potatoes and lettuce, and it's great. And I got a side dish of gauza, which is layered. It's like a casserole, but it's like potatoes. And with like chicken and mashed potatoes, chicken and mayonnaise in the middle. It's really good.
Ooh. Is it fried chicken or baked, like breaded chicken?
Grilled. It's
grilled.
Roasted,
Okay.
It's roasted chicken.
Okay.
So it's roasted strip chicken in the middle. It's really good. It's really good because it has like tomatoes on top and everything. It's really good. You can search on it and just put gauza. It's amazing. And I got me, because I couldn't help myself, 2 pieces, dos pieces of cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory because I was not beat. I was like, I need cheesecake in my life. This has to happen. It had to happen. No way around.
You earned it, son. You totally earned it. Coming in underneath me, who just refreshed his camera, we got Billy Youngblood, aka the what is it? The Outside Rebel, right? The Outside Rebel.
That is correct, good sir. Outside Rebel. You can call me Sky Guy for short, or just Rebel. How you doing, guys? How you doing?
Mercy. Sexy.
Well,
okay.
You don't remember that song?
No, not that one.
what was it? It was the bat from the Bad Boys movie. No, with
the first one.
No, with Martin Lawrence and they made a music video on it. Like, no, I'm playing that shit. Hold on.
Sorry about that. Well, don't play it because we'll probably get a strike. But last but not least, bringing up the rear, sweeping out the caboose, my man, the bully, the one and only. What's happening, brother?
Hello there. Bully loves the caboose.
Testing out his new microphone, upgrading.
Oh, you got a
Sounds
pop?
good.
I got a pop too. Pop. No.
Al, you're a fan.
Tuck your Nork in, son. Is showing.
Said happy birthday to you.
Yes, happy birthday to you, Bully. His birthday was on Friday.
That's right. That's
happy
right.
birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, everybody's birthday is so close. That's amazing.
Yeah, no.
And Dan Man to real also.
It's another year that we still didn't plan shit together.
Well, we had no reason. What were you saying, Bully? Who's in the chat?
Dan Man for real 2 says, nice. I'm glad you have a great day, Roundhouse. By the way, it's awesome to have you back on Twitch.
Oh, the people's be waiting for you, brother. Know what I'm saying? They missed you. They missed you.
They're talking on my stream, and I'm not sure how I like that.
It's all right. We just sitting on we just sitting around on different people's porches, but it's all the same block. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how we're doing tonight.
I'm happy to be back. Definitely catch me tomorrow. I'll be streaming. Because apparently
with his new lights.
I got a new light. Yeah, I got a whole new thing. Like, I've been doing what I got to do. I got a new layout coming out soon for my stream. So
centerfold.
Yeah.
You're gonna rock the never mind. Too early for that. I'm not even done drinking. So tonight we got some good topics, I believe. We're gonna start off with the one I'd like to suggest to everybody. We're gonna talk about video game technology advances and failures.
Oh shit. Like
okay, so I guess I'm no guess. I'm pretty sure. What?
You mean any company?
Why does everybody else free? Yeah, it's just like okay. So let me preface and set it up like this. I'm the oldest gamer here, so I've seen everything from the original Atari 2600 all the way up to the current generation. Some things worked well when it comes to accessories and system upgrades, and then some stuff well. And there's something that I've been really wanting to see happen with video game consoles. But before I get to that, I want to start chronologically. Yeah, because going in chronological, whatever, going in time order. So the first one being the old guy, I had a Nintendo Rob when I was growing up.
Wow.
And it only worked for 2 games. It was a great concept, Dave. But yeah, it was a great concept. The interactivity with this physical device that was in front of the TV and how you can make it interact and move. You could actually control it, make it turn to the left and grab the gyroscope and drop it. But it didn't really catch on. The irony of it was how they helped sell the system as a computer system and not a video game system when they first launched the NES, because the video game market had pretty much crashed when the NES first came to the States, and they were marketing it as a computer system as opposed to a video game, which is why the first NES, the first version, when they showed it off at the CES show, actually had a computer keyboard hooked up to it.
That's right, it did. Because
they were trying to hide it off as no, it's a computer, not a video game system. Because nobody wanted to hear from Atari, Intellivision, ColecoVision. Like, those guys pretty much tanked everything, and this new company came around called Nintendo that had the video games killer, or I should say, it brought back video games, but it was originally marketed as a computer. And Rob, go ahead.
No, I just said revival.
Yes, thank you. Video game revival. Rob was what visually made it stand out from the rest of the stuff, is that you had this pretty much a toy that you can control. And as I was saying before, the first design for the American version, it came with a keyboard attached to it. And to even take it a step further, there was actually a disc system, the Famicom disc system. It was a peripheral that would go underneath the NES, and you could slide in discs for games.
Damn,
and their whole
you bringing it way back.
Well, I'm old, and I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff tried, and I've seen stuff failed. The Famicom disc system, their idea was, especially in Japan, you would take your disc, go to a store, and they would load a game onto it, for a price. When you're done playing it, you bring it back, and it would erase the game and put another one on it to you, which was a cool concept at the time because cartridges, to manufacture would be expensive. But having them be able to just load it into this kiosk, like think about like Redbox. Think about like Redbox at the outside of your Acme or your ShopRite. You bring your disc, you throw it in there, say, "Oh, I want Call of Duty Warfare, douche." Then you walk home and you throw it in, and it works. That's how the first Zelda game was actually released in Japan. It was released on the Famicom disc system.
That's right.
I'm old, baby. I've been around the block, but that never came to America. But we had the Rob. I even had the Power Pad. Look at them. Look at these young boys. They don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I knew about the Power Pad.
I didn't know. I don't know what that is.
I know about the Power Pad.
Okay, the Power Pad for the young blood. The Power Pad was Dance Dance Revolution before it was called Dance Dance Revolution. It was a big ass mat. Let me see if I can call up a new window. It was a big ass mat that had a plug that you plugged into the controller port. It had sensory buttons on it underneath it. And you would play typically for one game called Worldcast Track Meet. Okay, and it was track and field, as we all know, but it was like that. So you would run, feet would push the buttons down. Again, we're talking Dance Dance Revolution technology. And
excuse me.
Oh, you're freezing up.
Yeah,
you're freezing up, my
man. Up if you want.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that. I just got to make sure I get a stronger computer. Probably because those kids were still outside playing, and it wasn't like something we needed to inside. Plus, two, if you live in an apartment, you got some heavy ass kid banging on the damn floor above you. That's annoying. That's annoying.
It is.
Am I still here? Still hear me?
Yeah, here we
can hear you. You're just freezing.
I'm just scratching my back. Actually.
Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, is that what that noise was?
Yeah.
Anyway, so like between that and then you had the gun. Even the light gun was dope for the time. And the technology behind the light gun was different. And come to find, being that I'm old, I remember Captain Power was a toy line that interacted with TV. This light gun does, and that brought playability to a different level for kids. My internet signal is definitely not good today.
It's the wind.
It's not good. I'm going to sit here and wait for my. You guys can talk about any of the couple things I just, if y'all can still hear me.
We can
it's
hear
probably
you.
My Wi-Fi not doing too well today.
Just the camera.
Or it's Comcast. Not being too happy about
Okay,
really?
So hold up. Before we even go into
I didn't hear anything from
Before we go into that, I got a complaint since you mentioned their fucking name. So I'm going to complain about
I just totally froze. This is not fun.
For 3 days, my internet has been off because of Comcast.
All right, hold on.
Because the motherfuckers were testing shit. And I know when they're testing shit because the internet is completely like off. And I was just like, well, fuck you. I just unplugged. Because I was like, what is going on with this shit? So I unplugged it. I tried to reset it.
I'll be right back. I'm going to try and see if I can turn off some stuff in my house.
Yeah.
Y'all going.
Okay. I tried to reset it, and then when I thought it was resetting, it just didn't. The modem didn't even like pop up. Like there's no internet signal popping up. I called the motherfucker. They're like, "Oh yeah, did you unplug this and unplug that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did all that." Why do they act like they don't know how to motherfuckers don't know how to troubleshoot shit?
Because
that's what, like they never act like they're like, "Did you do this? Did you do that?" No, I just called you because I'm illiterate and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Come on, man. And then you know they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have to send somebody out there." I'm like, "Okay, can you send somebody out there like today? It was early." "Oh no, we can't do that." "Okay, what about tomorrow?" "Oh, we can send them out with early as possible." I was like, "Yeah, well, 7." They're like, "Oh, we can send them out from like 7 to 9." I'm like, "Okay, cool, I'll be up." I am up at 6 a.m. waiting for a phone call to hear about this dude coming, the technician coming. No phone call. They're like, "Oh, sorry, you know, technician's not coming, but your schedule for Saturday is still going on." I was like, "Oh, he's 12. He's going to be showing up from 12 to 2." I said, "Can we get an earlier time?" They're like, "Oh, what time?" Like, "Early as possible." The technician came, right? Saturday. I was pissed, so I had no internet for a whole day. Good thing I have a whole bunch of movie Blu-rays. That's the one thing that saved me. Although I don't know where Deadpool 2 is. I was looking for that shit. I was kind of do like a Deadpool 1 to Deadpool 2. But anyway, and I'm looking, I'm seeing the technician. He checks the cable cord, the internet cord and the cable cord, and then he does something, checks it, sees it's fine, then plugs it back in normally, and I'm like, what was the purpose of calling you if that was the easiest shit in the world to do?
Hey, R&B Pikachu, how you doing? Thanks for coming through.
Did
the technician check your speed and your connection strength?
Yeah, and it was perfect. It was all fine. It's my internet speed and strength has always been perfectly fine, especially with the fucking money I pay for it. Anyway, it just fucked me up because it was just like he just checked it and that was it. And it was just like, well, it's back on, it's fine. And I was just like, yeah, I wonder why. Because y'all motherfuckers don't set like I was like, y'all all you had to do was send the signal. Fucking send the signal. That's it. Fucking annoying sometimes. Like
it's possible that they had to repair something down the block and they did that and then came to you to see if it all worked out.
Maybe. I don't know about that though.
It's possible.
I think with COVID and everything, they make it seem like they can't do that much because they're like lack of people.
Plus, they're trying not to go into people's houses.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So to get back onto my rant about video game accessories, the power pad didn't work, but the light gun worked. And I don't know if you guys remember, like, this was back when like laser tag first became a thing. You know, we had Photon, we had laser tag, and the Nintendo light gun, the Sega light gun. That was good technology that, you know, I'm really surprised that more toy manufacturers didn't pick up on it, you know, to improve the playability of their toys. So, you know, did any of y'all, other than the light gun, because everybody had a light gun, did anybody have? Okay, good. What'd you have?
My mom had an Atari, right?
2600, 5200, or 78?
I think it was 78.
Okay.
And well, I'll say this. There was 2 different type of systems in the house. So it was probably 2 Ataris. I can't remember exactly which one, but
it was probably 2600 and 78 because not a lot of people bought the 52.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and I had that, and for some reason it was weird because you know how it's always the same trope. Like somehow when there's new systems, somehow new TVs come out and they kind of make certain systems obsolete or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
So like, you know, even when talking about back then, you know, you had to have that little that thing with the little curve.
Oh yeah, the old RF switcher to go from computer to TV. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So you know, as TVs got better. Sorry,
whoever that is, please mute their phone.
That's me. I'm famous today. So it's weird, like because when you didn't have that you couldn't go to like you had to put it on channel 3 and all this other shit. Actually, it was a whole thing. I remember taking my mom going to what's that fucking spot over there in Irvington?
In the center?
Yeah,
Oh, Valley Fair, you mean?
Valley Fair. I remember my mom taking me to Valley Fair, right?
Yeah.
And look and getting the converters, because they had everything there. Actually,
yeah.
Valley Fair was the first time I got to play Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
Because they had it there, you could play it, right? And you could buy the game. It was legit. It wasn't no bullshit.
Was it the arcade version where it was censored?
I'm gonna try to.
Yep.
What are we talking about? They had there? Damn, my signals.
Valley Fair. It was amazing. Valley Fair used to be the shit back then, you know. So, but my mom bought a lot of converter stuff. Like she bought stuff at Valley Fair, converter to make. And then once Atari was done, the first system I got, I'm trying to remember, it was, it's a weird thing because I remember having both systems, no matter Nintendo and Sega Genesis. I had both. I had the glove, I had the gun, I had a little bit of everything.
Wow. So you got a whole you got the mashup together. You were not bored, basically.
No, I wasn't.
You were occupied.
I was too preoccupied. And in fact about it, if I played too much, I'd be like, go outside.
Kicked you outside so she could play. That Power Glove, the Power Glove was dope too. Another one of those like great concept, great idea, but total failure in gaming history. And even the technology behind it, like of course you can go down a YouTube rabbit hole and like look and see how the technology for it works. It works sonically. You would put these two emitters on the side of your TV, and it would artificially what's the word I'm looking for? Assume depth, pitch, yaw, and back. It was great. And like the original technology was like used by like really high tech computer guys and NASA and all that stuff. And then it got sold when Nintendo bought the rights to the technology to it. And even nowadays, the guy that does Robot Chicken, the actual animator, he manipulates the cameras and everything with a Power Glove. He put like an Adreno board inside of it, so he can, that way he doesn't have to keep going back and forth to the camera. He just does it all right there on the actual Power Glove, bro. Like,
it's crazy.
Revolutionary shit. Yeah, revolutionary shit.
It's crazy because when I think about it, right, the one thing I loved about Nintendo, like amongst the glove, was the gun. I even wore the glove playing with the gun.
Of course, that's how you get that's the ultimate cheat code right there.
No, it was just like, and because I remember if you ever had the Nintendo gun, like, you know, if you felt that it wasn't shooting those fucking ducks, you had to put it right on the screen.
But that was cheating.
I remember that.
That was cheating.
But sometimes you gotta understand. Sometimes it didn't register.
Nope.
You had to clean your lens.
Yep.
Oh no, I cleaned it plenty. Plus, also, by the way, it's ironic because this relic fell out of my case just a minute ago while you were.
Yes, the most durable video game controller ever made.
And my first controller.
Throw that thing against the world, and it'll fucking work still.
Funny thing about that controller, like people have made belts out of that shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Belt buckles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Billy, what's your early game technology, man? What do you got?
No, I got NES.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. If we're going even further with SNES or SNES for some reason, never had a Sega. Always been a Nintendo fan. I was raised in a Christian household, and we did not want any guns in the household.
Oh,
gotcha.
But I was like, this is jumping even further beyond. When GoldenEye came out, I actually got it, and my mom looked at me like, you know what? I heard so much good things about those shooting games, and it gives you objectives and gives you like how to complete objectives one after another. So she allowed me to do it. So I felt like, yay! I'm a little kid. I can shoot things.
Runs around playing Odd Job and slappers. Doesn't even play the guns. Just slappers. Screw it.
Anybody ever like? Cause I played it, but it was something I never played at. Like I owned. I played it at one of my Asian friends' house at the time. A Neo Geo system.
Yep, it was for the very expensive gamer. It wasn't cheap, but it was damn sure good. It damn sure was good though.
Mm-hmm.
And there was actually two versions of it. It was I think MVS or NCS or something. There's two different versions. One of them is an exact replica of the video games.
Yeah.
And the cartridges were like that big. Like they were huge. And all of that really added to the price point. They made it very expensive. The next thing in my timeline of video game technology advances is the Sega 3D glasses. The Sega 3D glasses were amazing. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I got told when I wanted those? You got 3D glasses money?
Yeah. Fortunately for me, I had a grandmother that did have 3D glasses money. And we went to Macy's in Livingston Mall to buy the video games at the time. That's how old I am.
Holy shit.
This is back when they used to sell video games. Wow. So the deal with the Sega 3D glasses, this is going back to the Sega Master System. Their 8-bit version of their 8-bit home console. It would slide into the card slot on the Sega Master System. And what it was you ever see the old people glasses that like when they get cataract surgeries and stuff, they're really thick, they're really black, they're really dense. They're modeled after those, but inside they're shutters that open and close at a rapid rate, and it feeds the video signal into the glasses. So with doing that, it plays with your depth perception. And in my 43 years, I've never seen 3D look this good, because there was Load Runner 3D, there was Zaxxon 3D, and Missile Defense 3D, and Space Harrier 3D. Those are like the 4 big games that they have for the Master System. And most 3D, even now, seems to show like depth of field. Like it looks like it's further in, even though it's like really on a flat plane. But this stuff brought it like you would shoot a missile right here and then shoot a missile right here. Like it was around you. It was really, really well done. And Nintendo comes
VR. The first steps of VR, basically.
It's funny you say that, because the wonderful geniuses over at Sega actually had a VR setup for the Genesis.
Oh,
and
wow.
It was that close to being launched, but kids were getting sick, and they pulled it. They scrubbed it. If you Google it, you could see his big ass fucking lens that goes over your eyes, and it was VR, bro, like Lawnmower Man style. But when they were doing tests with the kids, they were like literally getting like motion sickness and not vitiligo, what's it, vertigo, because it was all new and like you're being encased. But yeah, like Sega's 3D was amazing. Then Nintendo comes out with their 3D games. It's the standard ass cardboard glasses with the red and the blue stuff. They didn't, but like Sega's was actual technology, because you plugged it into the system and it fed the video signal into the glasses, and it gave you like it was a shuttering effect that allowed it played with your brain. It was really high tech, in my opinion, dude. Again, in my opinion, Sega has always done stuff that pushed the limits of technology with gaming. Even to they had I guess what you could call the first motion control system with the Genesis. Yeah, like with the Genesis, bro. I'm talking 16-bit. It was I think it was called the Activator, and it was like a 8-segment ring that went around you. And the only
activator I had was for my Jerry curl.
Well, when you let your soul glow, you set this up around you, and you could like it would sense things. So you would like put your hand this way, and it would sense motion that way, and sense motion in front of you. And again, it was great technology, but a total failure. Like the market wasn't wanting anything like that.
You talking about those 2 big things that they hang on the side? I think it was for was it Sega Saturn at the time?
No, this was for Genesis, and I believe they called it the Activator. I would try to screen share it, but my computer wants to be a pain in the ass tonight.
So So what is it called? The activator from who?
Yeah, I think it's called the activator. It's like a 8-segment ring that goes around you.
Oh my God, I remember that. The ring. You put it on the floor and you inside the ring, and it's like you can move. Like I forgot, it was I think the one game you could play on there was Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, that's how they were testing it. That was how they showed
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I remember that shit. I was like, and then because there was another version of it, but it was on a larger scale. It was actually 4 3D game, like 3D games, and that's what it was based off of. Because that was a big market where you get inside this big tube, like you put the 3D glasses on and the gloves, and you get inside this big circle, and you can do all the shoot things.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was the arcade version.
That's what I mean. That's the arcade version. They made the Sega, got into that, and they made a small version of it where you didn't need all that, and it was. I never saw it. I never saw it.
That's it right there.
That's it.
That's it right there. It plugs into the controller port.
Yeah.
And you stand in the middle, and I think it's 8 sensors, maybe 1 sensor on each angle.
I wanted that so bad, but it was expensive. It was expensive.
Oh yeah, I mean, at the time, a lot of this stuff was expensive because it was all new technology that they were gambling on.
Yeah, the activator.
The activator, yeah. When you want to let your soul glow. That's dope stuff, though, bro. Like, Sega was really pushing the limits with technology, bro.
Yeah, they were. They were ahead of its time. I just don't think the technology was there for them.
Well, the market for it. But it's always like that. Like, speaking of like, technological advances, I remember laser discs came out before DVDs.
Yes, it was. Yep.
Too expensive, and nobody was going to.
CD?
What?
Sega CD.
Yeah, absolutely. I had it.
It's funny. It went from Sega CD then to Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn actually. I had a Sega Saturn. I loved it. I loved the games on there.
Mm-hmm. The trippy part. I'll tell you, here's a trivia question for you people quoting to be true gamers. Who had the first CD-based system?
Wasn't it Sega? No, wait.
Neo Geo.
Wrong.
What was it?
TurboGrafx.
Okay, I was going to say Jaguar.
What game? Oh, see.
The TurboGrafx 16 you could add on the CD attachment, and that got launched before the Sega CD kicked in.
But wasn't Jaguar? Jaguar did come.
Jaguar was during the 64-bit. It was Jaguar, Saturn, and what's the one that came? Was it GameCube?
No,
GameCube wasn't even there.
No.
What was before GameCube? N64. Thank you. N64, which technically was still cartridges. And Nintendo got a lot of shit for not coming into the CD era with everybody else. But the TurboGrafx 16, a questionably 8 or 16-bit, system, depending on who you ask, had a CD add-on. That was, you slid it in the back, and it was the first one to come out in America to have CD games on it. Furthering the the arms race of video games and who can step everybody up,
basically.
But our buddies over at Sega were the first ones to do online gaming.
That's true.
Yeah,
and I don't mean for the.
No.
It never. It didn't come out here. It didn't come out here in its first iteration. But for the Genesis, there was something called the Telegenesis modem, and it slid into the back of the system, and it utilized the one port on the back of the Genesis that looks like the Nintendo port. It's like a 9-pin DIN or 8-pin DIN. That was for a modem that came out in Japan, but never hit here in America until Sega really took off with the Sonic and all of that stuff, and then they got into bed with Time Warner Cable, and that created the Sega Channel.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm nerdy when it comes to gaming history, dude. Old school like that. Well, all of that stuff led up like what we have as gaming today, I believe. And it was often dudes just sitting in labs just doing tests. Like, let's try doing this. Or what about this? Like, you could go on with the Sega channel. You could go online and you could download a game, and it basically would sit in the ROM of the cartridge. The modem was basically a big ass cartridge, and as long as you didn't turn your system off, you could play it. Come to find out, there's a Mega Man game that was released that was never on the Nintendo system. It was just for the Genesis, and it was only available on the Sega channel.
Wily Wars.
There's a couple of games that were never released in the U.S. from Japan.
Bless you.
Jesus.
And wasn't
coronavirus.
What'd you say, Bully?
Wasn't that Mega Man Soccer as well?
I think so.
Mega Man had a soccer game?
Yep.
Yes, it did.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man.
Football game. Football.
So the one thing that I'm still waiting to see, and I don't think they're going to ever do it, but I want to see the return of couch co-op. Two people sitting on the same couch. Now, everybody's got online this, online that. Cool. But I want to see two separate video outputs on one system. So I can have my monitor, because nobody wants to play split screen anymore because it's all about high definition graphics and don't squeeze the screen down and everything. So give me the ability to hook up another monitor, even if it's just VGA, since we're going to be listening to the same source. But give me a VGA output or an HDMI output number 2, and let me hook up a secondary screen so I can have my buddy next to me and bring back couch co-op. I think that'd be great. You know, especially with, you know, the high definition games that we got and how everything's going to really move toward graphics. At least let me have 2 screens so I can play a GoldenEye or something, you know, so we can have a big hit like that, because everything that's hitting now is all because it's online and you know, server issues. But you know, imagine, you know, that's what made GoldenEye so dope, was the 4-player. Like, look at Mario Kart. If Mario Kart wasn't ruining friendships back in the 90s, it wouldn't be a big hit right now.
You know, it's funny, you talk about GoldenEye, but I would say Halo also was a very good for Halo 1 and Halo 2, definitely. Well, definitely Halo 2 with the because you could link the Xbox.
Yep.
You have 4 people on one screen and 4 people on another screen, and you could have the
LAN parties.
The LAN parties, yeah. The LAN parties was amazing, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah. It'd be 4 of us in an apartment. Everybody's in their own room, hollering and screaming with the Netlink Ethernet adapter right in the middle, and like 50-foot long cords coming in and out. Don't trip over it because you're gonna get cussed out.
Well, we used to do that, I think, back in college, actually. Yeah. Me, Craig, a couple of our friends, David Nelson, used to do that shit. Have LAN parties with Halo, and at the time it was like Halo 3 or whatever it would be, but because you could do it with this 360, so it was great. Like, you had LAN parties, you know, get some wings, get some chips. Here's your wings. Here's your chips. We over here. You up there. Fuck you. We're going to fuck you up. And then you have people that show up and come. It'd be a house party without being a house party. You know what I mean? It would be the best thing to do, because the communication between everybody and actually getting to know people and whatnot, and still blowing their heads up, with the rocket launcher, you know, and then you like, it was a good time. Those were good classic times, because I mean, killing people with rocket launchers. I mean, in Halo too.
You could tell a lot by a man by how he's stuck with a sticky grenade. Like, seriously, that was the thing. Like, as soon as the game would start, we would just throw that shit all the way to the other side of the screen and see if it hits anybody. If they got hit, that was the best part.
What made it bad is the fact that some of the grenades, not the sticky ones, some of the grenades would just bounce.
No, wait. No, what made it bad was the pistol. The pistol was a better sniper rifle than the actual sniper rifle.
Think so?
100%.
I don't know about that.
Okay. When you're using the sniper rifle, there's a trail.
Yeah.
True. Very true. Okay.
And you're on the other side of the map, and you still have that time to zoom. Headshot, boom, done.
Yeah, I can see that. You're right. The trail.
But it's only 2 headshots. You don't need 2 headshots with the sniper rifle. Because it's one to get the shield down, it's to kill you.
Yeah, but if you're sniping and you're like crouching, camping, and stuff like that, you won't know where it's coming from. When it comes to like the sniper rifle, you can see where it came from and try to dodge your way out of it.
Yeah, it leaves like a chemtrail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I mean,
don't get any vehicles, because if you get in the vehicle, everybody's fucked.
You're done.
shit, not me, bro. I was a warthog driving motherfucker, bro.
You're one of them.
Ooh, I ride everybody around, just dodging and dipping, backing it up, going this way. All I needed was a good gunner, man. Hell yeah.
I got a question from Dan Man.
Yeah.
He wants to know, what is your thoughts on the new Super Mario World themed land at Universal Studios Japan?
Yeah. Haven't seen it, haven't known anything about it, so yeah, I don't know.
I didn't need another excuse to go to Japan, but I'm down.
Yeah. I didn't even know what
you got plans tonight?
I only knew about the Final Fantasy part in Japan. They have a Final Fantasy theme park, kind of like Star Wars in Disneyland, Disney World. They have their own ride. They have merchandise specifically from Universal Studios Japan. They're actually selling merchandise, Amazon and eBay, like how they did with Savi's workshop, with the lightsabers and stuff. It's crazy. They're actually making like theme parks for these specific like titles. And now they're doing it for games, and Final Fantasy is obviously a big name too. So they obviously said, yeah, we want Final Fantasy. Let's make it its own theme park.
That's pretty big, man.
Yeah, they have the roller coaster ride and everything, and it's a VR roller coaster ride. You're wearing a VR headset while you're on the roller coaster.
I guess that does kind of make it smaller and cheaper. You just make the shake, the chair shake, all of that stuff.
Yeah,
spray some water on your face or something.
Make well, with the headset on, you're gonna get electrocuted.
Well, I'm sure it's wet. I mean, people sweat. I'm sure it's water resistant to a certain degree. Well, they had there is such a thing as 4D gaming, like 4D movie theaters, where the seat will rock and they will shoot mist into the crowd if there's like a water scene or something like that.
I was pretty interesting. If I was on one of those rides in Universal when I went to California, the Transformer ride is like that, and the Jurassic Park ride is like that.
4D.
Yeah, definitely the actual Transformer ride is actually 4D.
That's dope.
It's everything. You get inside, right? You sit down, and like it's weird because like it feels like you're on a roller coaster. Right, you're in it, like it feels like you're in there with the Transformers and everything, and they're fighting Megatron and whatnot. But the way they do things and the way things are happening, and you're shaking and everything, it like a lot of times when it's doing certain things, you're they have the thing where you're falling down. You're like, oh shit, and I'm like, yo, this is a little too much. Like I'm like, oh
yeah.
I'm like, oh shit! Like, am I really in a roller coaster? And then I was kind of shocked. I was like, it fucked me up, but it was fun. It was just like, oh, what the fuck? Because how they do the ride, there's one part in there, spoiler, where you're really you're going up and you're coming down. You're like, oh shit! Like, and you're like, oh, I'm falling. And then there's like, boom, like this whole big hole. It's crazy. It's fun, crazy, but I love it. And I got to fuck with Megatron.
Well, which Megatron was it?
When I came out of the ride, Megatron was standing over there, and he was like fucking with humans and shit. I was like, what's up, Megatron?
But he's like, from which Transformers series?
It was Megatron from Transformers 3.
That's the one. Let's see. It's Transformers. Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
Where they have Buzz Aldrin, and they say that
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy betrays them with the open space bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. It was he was like he was just like talking and everything, you know, and I was like, "Do as I come out." I did it in his voice, and he was like, "Don't say my lines."
Oh wow, that's dope.
Because I did it in his voice.
Does anybody have any honorable mentions for gaming technological advances or failures before we move on to the next topic?
This one. Go ahead, Brent. Bully.
What do you got, Bully?
Yeah.
Super Mario Paint, the mouse.
Yeah.
Oh.
Surely.
Hook a little mouse up to your Nintendo.
Really disappointing, but something that they could have invested in and did something even more with the Wii U or the Wii
remake.
That's actually some genius ass fucking thought. I never really thought about that. They really could have did something with that with the new consoles.
Well, just to those my last little bit of nerdy video game historical trivia. Y'all do know that the PlayStation was supposed to be Nintendo's CD system, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I don't need to tell the story then. For those that don't know, Google it. And we're going to wrap this segment up. We're going to bring it down over to Billy Youngblood, who's been swinging around New York City fighting crime, as well as Reverend Cub Daddy. Both of you guys have been rocking the Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
I just want to do a non-spoiler review of what you got so far, what you're happy with, any issues you may have found.
I'll be real short with it. They cut some of the city off. I could tell. Because when you play Spider-Man PS4, you got literally the entire city, including Harlem. In Miles Morales, they cut some of the city parts off. It's shortened because I'm like, because in every Spider-Man game, there's always the buildings that tell like there's certain buildings that are in like that they always make you go to. One is Empire State, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other one is the building the one where what is it? The MetLife building. Oh, because that's what it was before. And then you have the Chrysler building. The Chrysler building's not in Miles Morales.
Yeah, wait, the Chrysler building is not in New York, right? I thought it was in Detroit.
No.
What's the Chrysler building?
The Chrysler building. It was the building right before the Empire State Building was made.
It looks like
first.
It looks like Empire State Building. I don't know if you play Spider-Man 2, but that's the building where in the first game you fought Vulture, and then in the second game you find like his feathers. So like, this actually happened. They're continuing after the first game. That's the Chrysler building. And it's
in Spider-Man PS4, you have like literally every single building there. Like in Miles Morales, they cut some of the city parts out. Like like where Doc Ock's lab is completely gone. Like the building doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is fucked up because you would think like, oh shit, let's see if what's left there. Let's go see if
because this game takes place years later.
It takes place a while, but at the same time, it's like, let's see what happens. And then there's new buildings that are added to map it around Miles. But the Chrysler building's not there.
Is the United Nations there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the United Nations, Grand Central, those are the buildings that are over there. But the Chrysler building.
They have the Freedom Tower there now, the new World Trade Center.
It is and then it isn't. You can tell it's the Freedom Tower. The only problem, they made it differently.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a point.
Yeah, I guess they could say it's the Freedom Towers.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they. Yeah.
Avengers Tower is there, and again, the Avengers are not there. They're never.
It's just a weird thing. You know that, right? It's almost like, why put it there when you're doing nothing with it? And this is the part that I have like.
Like no characters.
No characters there. Like it's thing is like they're doing that because apparently, supposedly, Spider-Man for PS4 is supposed to be the Spider-Man in the Avengers game, Marvel Avengers game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's supposed to be linked. I'm not
sure. He's supposedly the one who like he's the New York. He's the one who's like stationed there while they're away on their missions and everything.
Yeah, it's a weird conundrum. When it comes to the game, fighting was pretty good. I liked it. I think some of the side missions were a little too repetitive. You really get to see. Also, I want to say this too. There's a huge gap between Peter and Miles, power-wise.
Mm-hmm.
He's young. I'm just saying. If we're basing it off Peter and Miles, there's a huge power gap. Huge.
Now,
And I'm not really entirely sure if it came down to it, like
if they got into a fight.
Yeah, if they got into a fight.
Now here's where I come in. Here's what I have to say about that. Yes, Miles is without a doubt at this point in time the strongest in the game, the strongest Spider-Man in the game, because he has more abilities at his in his hands. But experience wise, you can tell he has much to learn. Like for instance, whenever he's like web swinging, from building to building, where he jumps, you can see him stumble when he lands sometimes. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's also really cool because he's still fresh. He's still a young blood. He still has much to learn. He's still trying to get to the same level as Peter is, but he's still a novice. Even though you got all these abilities, you still have to train.
I like the way he web swings. He's completely different.
Yeah, his acrobatics are very different. He's very flashy. He likes to flaunt a lot. You can see him in some of his acrobatics while he's skydiving.
Mm-hmm.
Takes out his smartphone and he starts texting. I love doing that all the time. Max, you see me do it every time.
Yeah, I was watching.
I'm like,
he jumps the way he jumps that, like you just run and just fall. He turns around and just goes.
That's based off of what he does at the end of Spider-Verse.
Yeah, but they got him in you can do it in the game, and he's just doing this. I'm like, how far can I go until I web swing until I hit the floor? And I'm like, the ground is like this. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, this is pretty smooth. Yeah. Like the traversalness of him is pretty good. They kept the same type of style, like in the way like a Peter, like Spider-Man PS4 is. I just think they made Miles Morales too short, and they shortened the city, and it's kind of like as much as it could have been a DLC. I understand, like it is a standalone game, but now if you get Spider-Man, right, it's like, and you beat it and everything like that, it's collecting dust. So now what's left?
I have my gripes about it, but I want to make sure that you guys say your piece before I get on my soapbox.
Okay.
Everything else back to like my soapbox.
I think he's annoying sometimes. I'll say that, but I'm okay with it. Yeah.
All right. Well, pull out the soapbox, Bully. Tell us what you feel.
Ooh. You know the ones that
snap into a Slim Jim over here, dude.
All right.
Macho Man Bully Savage.
Oh yeah, I got the webs.
Sony.
Go ahead.
The gatekeeping Spider-Man from everyone else, and they want to have the cake and eat it too. That's why you have the Avengers in the game, even though they're not making references to Avengers, only because Sony knows Avengers make money and if we make a connection to Avengers with the Spider-Man, people will want to buy it more.
Okay.
They rushed the game, make it shorter, so then they can actually have a game that sells that push the consoles, the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're able to get the first Spider-Man game, a full game, and Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Are they bundled them together?
Yeah.
Yeah, and PS4, the Spider-Man PS4 has like 3 DLCs.
Mm-hmm. If they actually took the time and actually made the same length, Miles Morales has the same length as Peter Parker, I would not have like the soapbox. But it's just a constant reminder how Sony wants to use the IP for their own money-grabbing needs. And we'll say, like, you know what? Let's just keep it in our house as long as we can. Because the second everyone can have Spider-Man, Sony's going to drop price. The prices for Sony's stuff is going to drop a little bit because everyone's going to be like, well, I can get it for my Xbox or I can get it for my PC.
I see what you mean.
Right.
Let me ask you 2 things. One, do you think that that we'll get Miles Morales on Xbox?
No.
Any other game?
No.
Because once, depending on the parameters of that contract, like once the rights to Spider-Man go back to Marvel, I don't think that Marvel would bring that back out. And secondly, does Sony have any other characters that they could front like that?
No, they got rid of that was Fox.
They got Venom.
Yeah, but like, look at the movie. They don't know how to treat the.
I think that all comes in the same package.
No.
Yeah.
Yes and no, I would say. It's kind of weird of a conundrum, really, because when you talk about Sony and you talk about Spider-Man, it's weird. It's like one company actually owns them, and then the other one owns the movie. One company owns Spider-Man, the other company owns movie rights to Spider-Man and to make Spider-Man movies. Mm-hmm. But now it's being shared. And one side is getting their, I guess it's like 60-20 or 50-30 or however they split the cost. So how they do it, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but it's weird because it's like we have. I'm just going to talk about movies real quick. We have a plethora of movies coming out. We have Venom 2, which supposedly is going to have Peter Parker in it. We have Morbius, which is definitely in the Spider-Verse, and basically MCU altogether. You have Spider-Man 3, which is completely like going to be dealing with WandaVision and Venom and Sinister Six, and so it's and multiversing. It's a lot, and it's hard to like really hold down on some of that stuff. I don't know.
I have a question. Actually, not even a question. You're forgetting another connection to a character that Morbius has because he's also made contact with him in the comics.
Blade?
Black Cat?
Yep.
Blade, yeah.
Black Cat too, but Blade most important. He's gonna run into him, and they're gonna get to fight.
True. Blade is another one. I'm confused about Blade too.
Because you're wondering if it's gonna be rated R or not.
Well, we know because first of all we gotta see what Morbius does. Because I think that's the biggest.
Right.
Morbius would be the biggest entrance into the next type of movie like that, which would be Blade. I guess I'll call them supernatural movies because I'll just call them that. Supernatural movies.
You don't think Doctor Strange is supernatural?
No, that's what I mean. I'm putting that in the box. I'm putting that in.
That would be the first one, technically. Then.
Yes. But then again, when Sony's talking about when Marvel's talking about their shit, they're talking about their movies. And I'm talking about the other characters in other movies. Like they didn't talk about Morbius and when that's coming out, even though they did shoot it.
Because it's not Marvel's movie.
It's not Marvel's movie yet, but it connects to the MCU, and it connects in a way where Spider-Man is the link between all of them.
Because Adrian Toomes is at the end of the trailer.
Well, apparently, they're from what it looks like in the trailer, they all get set free, all the villains. That's from the trailer because you got Adrian Toomes getting there. He's like, "What up, Doc?" So it's kind of crazy. So we'll see what happens. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of weird. It's just, because each movie, if you think about it, will connect to each for different characters. So you got Doctor Strange, right? It's gonna have Spider-Man in there.
Wait, Multiverse of Madness?
Supposedly. Supposedly. I don't know. And then because that movie's supposed to connect to Spider-Man.
Right.
And then with Spider-Man, you like even before Spider-Man comes out, I think you have Morbius coming out. And then with Morbius, that's supposedly going to wind up connecting to Blade. And and then even with Morbius is connecting to Spider-Man 3, and Spider-Man 3 is supposed to have multiversing, so you have supposedly Tobey Maguire coming back and Andrew Garfield coming back, and you have the Sinister Six. So it's a lot to like pull in because now you're like, okay, where are we going? It don't look like it's going bad. Also, too, I didn't even think about this. You got Venom 2.
Yeah. And WandaVision.
Yeah, well, WandaVision is one thing. We're in WandaVision right now. I'm talking about that. But we got Venom 2, and we don't even know what the fuck they're gonna do. But supposedly Spider-Man's in there. That's
Carnage.
But Spider-Man's gonna be in there. So now it's gonna be So now we have 3 movies.
And riddle me this. I have a question. What was up with in the Morbius trailer with where he was walking past this wall that had a big poster of Spider-Man on it and it said murderer?
Yeah, because
but wait, hold on. Why was he wearing the Tobey Maguire suit? He's not wearing the suit that he wore in either Homecoming or Far From Home.
I don't know.
That's weird as fuck.
That's why I'm just like, we don't know. Because
I wonder if they're going to treat the Sony movies almost like an alternate universe kind of thing.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
So Morbius is in the dimension where Peter Parker still. He would be, maybe he'll be in. So that was what Tobey Maguire's suit that was on the wall.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it could just be some shitty ass artist who wasn't able to get the good details on it. Let me just make it simple. I mean,
but you know what's weird though? You know what's weird is the fact you can't call it Tobey Maguire's suit because Andrew Garfield's suit in the first Spider-Man suit, when the first Spider-Man was completely different from Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 outfit looks like more like Tobey Maguire's outfit. So we don't even know.
It was different.
It was different, but it was made. It looked the same.
It looked the same, but there were definitely differences in it.
Yeah.
The spider,
yes, they're both different bodies.
Go ahead, Bully.
Amazing Spider-Man in of itself was a hot mess. 1 and 2. And Sony loves to do this. Sony loves to put in too much in one thing, which reverts back to like Spider-Man 3 with Sandman and Venom, which had and Hobgoblin. And Amazing 2, you had
Electro, Rhino.
You barely saw Rhino.
And Green Goblin.
He was there though.
But it was Harry Osborn, not Norman.
Well, that happens.
Sinister Six, and now with Spider-Man 3, outside of all of the other movies, you have a lead up to Sinister Six, having 3 Spider-Mans, and maybe like some type of explanation of why our Homecoming Spider-Man is going through all these other dimensions. Why?
And I'll tell you right now, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me that we get the biggest hint of Miles Morales in Spider-Man 3.
Oh, of course.
Because he would be the same age as Peter at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, didn't we? Oh, because a 5-year skip.
Well, he's still technically older than him.
But wait a minute, though.
Not every same age.
Are we going to see that young kid get killed? Like, you think that, or were they come up with a different way of taking Parker out of the equation?
I don't. So hear me out, because
or could he go to jail?
Oh, hear me out. So also too, supposedly they're introducing Kingpin, but and Daredevil, he's in there.
He's gonna be his lawyer to try and clear his name.
That would be kind of slick, though. Like, all right, we obviously don't want to kill Spider-Man on screen.
No,
there's too much money to be made. But what if they bring in what's blind dude's name, real quick?
Matt Murdock.
Matt Murdock. What if Matt Murdock loses and Holland goes to jail, and that motivates Miles to pick up the mantle?
Right.
Well, they did do the thing.
You don't necessarily need to see him get bitten. He could already have the power in the background.
Yeah.
Or maybe have him like trying to make contact with Spider-Man. Meanwhile, Spider-Man's locked up.
They did do that in the comic book where Daredevil wore Spider-Man's outfit and Peter was locked up.
Oh, to prove that it wasn't him?
Yeah, they did do that.
Yeah, so what if, like, think that's
smart.
That's a slick way of doing it. Like, let's just say Matt Murdock has this little black kid that works for his law firm as an intern.
Well, in the comic books, it was Matt Murdock that did it because he was the only one that can, because
I'm taking that out of the equation, though. What I'm saying is, a slick way that they could introduce it is, we know that Parker's going to end up in jail. So in order to try to like clear his name, oh no, he's not Spider-Man. I need somebody to, and like you said, Miles could be is going to be a little bit older at this point. So maybe he's tall and thin, the same body build. And remember, it doesn't even matter because Stark's suits will just conform to him anyway.
Right.
So it really doesn't matter what the body is like. So maybe he does go to, it's a far-fetched idea, but I don't think they're going to kill Spider-Man on screen or off screen.
No.
How else can you bring in Miles Morales?
I think they'll kill off one of the Spider-Men, but I don't think it's Tom Holland. I think they'll kill off Tobey Maguire.
It will definitely not be Tom Holland. And the whole point of Miles Morales is Peter dies, and he needs to step up and be that Spider-Man. It happened in Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
It happened in the comics.
But I will say this. Here's where I understand what you're thinking, Bully, but here's the route that I think they're going to go, only because it's their product. If you go on Disney Plus, you go to Spider-Man, right? You go to Spider-Man 2019 or 2020. If you watch that cartoon, they all go to the same, like it's Peter Parker, right? It's Peter Parker. He's even bitten by a spider. He has powers and everything. Same thing, same story and everything. But the thing about it is, he also goes to high school with Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, and Mary Jane. So, and they're all in the same school together, Science High. They're all in the same school, and they all are spider people, Yeah,
they all have powers.
They all have spider powers and everything, and it's like a team. So they may go that route because that's their product. That's the cartoon they made after the first time we saw Spider-Man in the MCU. They because they canceled the other Spider-Man cartoon to make this shit. And that's what they're doing. I think that's the route they're gonna go, because you know why? It's the most sense to them about how they can
they can coexist in the same.
Plus, not to mention, you just had the game do that. You didn't kill nobody off, but you know what I mean. So I think that's what their route they're gonna go with.
Spider Family.
You don't think that it'll take too much time to set all that up, being that you never saw Miles in school with Parker, even in the second one. You never
Well, because here's the thing about
Gwen Stacy yet in the MCU.
That's one of the girls is supposedly Gwen Stacy,
My
but
fucking signal's bad again.
the thing
Why
when
is
it
my
comes-
signal bad? Like I pay for great internet.
I don't know. It's been, see, this is what I was talking about when they fucking watched it.
This sucks.
I'm
I
not
can't
sure.
even everybody, but just go ahead if you heard what I was saying.
We heard it.
Yeah, we heard you.
I'm not sure, but I think it's what they're gonna do is
Okay.
go to,
So maybe it's just my
oh shit, just cut him out. Uh-oh.
God damn it.
Damn it. Well, I'm gonna continue. Anyway, I think
one movie.
Can you hear us?
You were cut off.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? You can't hear us.
On red bar now. I can hear you. It's just delayed as hell now.
Okay. Now, I mean, like I was saying, I think they're going to go a route of one of their products that they've produced. Bully, I would actually like to see that. I agree with you. I want to see that, but they're not going to do it. They're going to go with how either the video game went, or how the cartoon's going. Because the cartoon is more. I can say the cartoon is more of it. It's their telling of how Spider-Man and Miles and everything like that. The cartoon, so they can coexist together without nobody dying.
Yeah.
But isn't that still the same cartoon with Spider-Pool, where Spider-Man's acting, or at least his personality is acting more like Deadpool, breaking the fourth wall and doing all this other jokes and stuff?
No, they got rid of that cartoon.
Okay.
They got rid of that cartoon. That was Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man would break fourth wall and talk to people, right? They stopped that cartoon just to make a cartoon about the way Tom Holland is playing Spider-Man, basically. You know what I mean? So they stopped the whole Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, right? Which Ultimate Spider-Man was great. Don't get me wrong. I loved it because it had a whole bunch of characters in there, right? And I love the fourth wall breaking. I thought that was just pure genius. And the Deadpool episode with Spider-Man, that was pure genius because they both breaking fourth wall. But the Spider-Man 2019 or whatever it could be, that's the Spider-Man that they're focusing on. And I think that's because you see how he acts and everything and all this other stuff. I think that's what they're going for. I think that's what they're going to do with Miles.
And his existence is definitely confirmed.
Yeah, well, we got in the first Spider-Man movie, but the thing about it is first of all we haven't seen Donald
Glover.
I mean, what's the name? The Prowler. We haven't seen the Prowler yet. That's one.
That's coming soon.
That's Bokeem Woodbine, isn't it? Oh no, that's Prowler. I'm thinking, what's the other one? Bokeem Woodbine was the dude with the shocking bracelets.
Yeah, that's Shocker.
Shocker. Thank you.
That
guy.
We know that the Prowler's inspired. Like, we don't know the Prowler's inspired. We know Donald Glover is the person who plays the Prowler. But we never saw his nephew, right? But we do know that his nephew was never snapped. Him and the nephew were never snapped. So
wait, how do we know that they weren't snapped?
You can, I guess it's speculation, but you can guess because
crickets. Am I lagging again?
Nope.
I mean, we don't know technically, but
we don't know. But
anything's possible.
You can speculate. I'll say this: it's a very big speculation about that Miles and his uncle Aaron wasn't snapped, and that's why Aaron and Miles are like this.
But if oh, okay.
And you know, I guess that's you know, one of the things too. Because also too, we don't know. I mean, we don't know.
It could be totally something far out of left field that we don't even expect, or something we couldn't think of. Because that's what the Marvel writers like to do, and they usually don't disappoint. So I'm gonna leave all the faith up to them. And
you know what's weird? It would make the most sense though, because
You think? Hold on. Here's the question. You think it makes more sense for them to recreate the cartoon and have all these Saved by the Bell ass people in the same store in the same school versus Peter Parker having to go to jail, given all the evidence that we see at the end of the Homecoming or whatever movie that was, that he's now like revealed to be a superhero. He's being blamed for the death, and we've confirmed that Daredevil is coming to defend him in some sort of way.
The thing about it is we're forgetting is Peter is still a kid. He's still a minor.
Still, minors go to jail. I mean, you know.
No, but you can't put him in juvie.
Yeah, but think about it. He's the first super to be arrested.
We were talking.
No, not.
Nope.
You guys are arguing. You're making the same argument as before. The last.
No,
you got.
No, we're not. Spider-Man.
Oh, you don't remember? He literally had this conversation.
Different universe.
Yeah. Yeah. Spider-Man did Spider-Man not the first superhero arrested?
Who was?
Captain America.
That was true.
Well, okay. Captain America was taken into custody.
He was never put in jail. They tried it. They tried it.
Oh, wait, but okay. So they already going back. They do already have that underground prison.
The raft.
They got that. So seriously, that's where I think they're going to go. But we'll find out sometime, in the future.
You know what's weird though? Like in the games, they put the raft in New York, but if you look at Civil War, the raft is like somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and that's why they have the raft. It's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean somewhere. So we don't know. We don't know if it moves or anything like that, or if it travels. So
the most sensible place to put them because
right. That's what they had. That's what they had. Wanda, Hawkeye, Falcon. Also, too, who's down there? Zemo is there.
Yeah, and he's not even a super.
He's not even a super, but they know he's dangerous. Who else is there? Abomination's there. No. Abomination's not there. He's not.
Yeah,
there.
but he's supposed to be coming back though with the She-Hulk show.
Wait, hold up. Abomination. I thought he died. I thought Hulk.
No, the Hulk never killed
so
him.
did I.
The Hulk never killed him. He's there, but the Abomination is in a different prison. He's in a different prison. He's in a prison where they designed this prison to hold the Hulk. Apparently, I believe it's in the middle of the desert in like I think it's in like the Grand Canyon. I forgot the name of it, but it's supposed to hold the Hulk, and I'm not sure.
That could be
an Abomination there.
That could be a perfect setup for She-Hulk when her series comes out.
Yeah, but that's why they have Abomination, because they have him locked up in a prison where.
I had no idea that fucker was still alive.
Oh yeah, they didn't kill him. The reason why he didn't kill him because he looked at Betty and she was like, "No, don't do it."
But remember when he stomped on him and then he just twists his heel? I thought he snapped his neck. You heard that snap?
He snapped his shoulder back in place, dude. Like, boom.
I'm sorry,
yeah, but
I thought that was his neck.
Also, to think about it, we've already confirmed via the MCU that Banner can't be killed because the Hulk kind of keeps him alive by rebuilding whatever damage. So you could assume that the same would happen to Abomination.
Yeah.
That like snapping his neck, it would just rebuild.
You regenerate.
He didn't snap his neck.
His foot, whatever he broke, will be repairable.
He had his chest. He didn't snap it. He just stomped on it and then he popped his shoulder back in place and just roared.
Well, I want to move on after this wonderful discussion away from the Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's get into this Resident Evil 8 that Derek, you were wanting to bring to the table. Personally speaking, I'm not much of a Resident Evil fan. I've seen a couple of the movies.
I liked 5.
The games themselves never really did it for me. I'd rather play Typing of the Dead.
Why? Okay, let's go to that. Why did the games do it for you?
I don't know, like the third person. I don't know. It just didn't click. It didn't click. But the story. I've watched the movies. The movies I felt were not that bad until Homegirl got like super duper uber powers. But when your husband's the director, you get to do that kind of stuff. But like,
basically.
Derek, what's got you excited about Resident Evil, man?
So since you haven't played it, the fact that we are basically revisiting a village that is like isolated from the rest of the world, reminiscent of Resident Evil 4, which is one of my favorites in the series. And they're bringing back a lot of stuff from Resident Evil 4, like they're bringing the attaché case.
Ada Wong.
No, I don't. We haven't heard anything about Ada Wong in the game yet. Maybe. Hell, maybe Leon could make an appearance. But so far, we know Chris Redfield's going to be in it. What I'm also interested about it is the story. Chris is now an antagonist. He is no longer the hero. He is an antagonist in the game. He kidnaps the main character from the 7th game's daughter, because apparently she has like a gene that is like connected to the virus from the 7th game, because his wife had it. She was infected. He kills her off in the trailer. We don't really know if it's true or not. It could be behind the scenes BS where they're fooling us into thinking that he killed her. I'm interested in the whole, you're basically tackling like old school horror monsters, not just your typical zombies. They got vampires in there, they got werewolves, they got witches.
Is this all because of the serum? Like it mutates differently now?
Yeah, it has different effects on the body.
That's weird.
Yeah. They change it. They like to change it for the sake of the series, because everyone's like, oh well, zombies, it's the same shit. Ooh.
Hold on, Derek, because how can I say this? Ever since Resident Evil 5, I don't care what anybody says. I like 5, except for the last part. In 5,
the AI sucks. By the way.
Yeah, I like 5. I like the story of 5. Of how the original virus, the actual virus, is based from a plant that was.
All of them are originated from the plant, but there are different variations.
Came from Africa,
and different effects on the body.
That's
why they're getting so much different shit.
Basically, the original flower had properties, of. Make you hallucinate and healing, but then what happened is you got these major corporations who got involved, right? Basically, and then started working with the flower and mutating it multiple different times before it even got to Raccoon City. So it's been there for a while. It's been there for years. It's been there. This thing has been there for years. And they've been working on it before even Raccoon City was a thing.
Because the whole time they were working, the reason why that is because they were like, oh, we have a way of repairing dead skin tissue, dead cells. We can reanimate it in a way to help heal injuries and to keep people looking young and healthy and all that shit. And then the negative effects started kicking in, so them niggas started using that shit as a bioweapon, and then bioterrorists started getting their hands on it, and that's how the whole series came to be.
Multiple times of mutating the flower, making it down to the where it doesn't have the properties where it originally had before. And now when you play Resident Evil 5, when you have like Wesker and what the Ouroboros, basically the original virus, the Ouroboros, like
which was more of a parasite.
Parasite, right? You think that because that's what it wound up turning you into. You think that when Wesker died, it died with him. No, it mutated more. Somehow somebody got it. It mutated, and now it was a 6. Now in 7 is different.
Got a question from the chat from Burns, who says, "Does it taste different for each person who drinks it?"
Maybe.
I say it tastes the same for everybody.
I say it tastes like candy. When you walk, even when you talk, it takes over me. It's like candy.
Now, what I have reason to believe
So good.
about this game in particular,
Yeah.
is that Chris is an anti-hero for a reason. He's not going to be a bad guy for no reason. No.
You know, so you mean he's not going to go and punch boulders?
He might. I mean, he
Shut
could.
up.
He could. Look, let me explain. Let me explain why. No shit. I'm dead ass. The reason why is because Chris is gonna be a fucking werewolf in this game, and here's why. Here's why. So I'm gonna screen share this.
Okay.
There's an image in the website for Capcom for the promotion of the game.
Yeah, ice cold in my bed. Oh yeah. Talk.
Jesus, spoilers. That's just pretty much it right there. There's no doubt.
Mm-hmm. So the question is, how did he get infected?
Is
That's
that
another.
Chris Redfield?
Yes,
Yep.
it's Redfield.
How did he get infected? And does Claire know?
Now, go ahead, Bully.
He was working for Umbrella. He checked out this village. He got bitten, and now he's doing the bidding.
Well, he doesn't work for Umbrella.
He works for the. He doesn't. He works for the BSAA. They're the counter terrorist unit that works.
Umbrella. Yep.
No, it's a different group. They're actually working against Umbrella and
But
all
in
the.
7, they have the Umbrella logo on it. Instead of
No.
red, it's green or blue.
No. He works at BS. Yeah, like when you play Resident Evil 5, him and his sidekick Yeshua, they work for the BSA?
BSAA.
And then he works for him. He works for them. So does Claire.
Again.
So does Claire, I believe. Claire does as well. But Leon works for the CIA.
Yeah, Leon's the CIA, and Chris is the Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance.
Yeah, so Claire works for them too. And now, what's her name that was captured?
In this game or the
Jill Valentine? Yeah,
fifth game.
yeah, she works for them too now. So
Right, and I think the reason why he's doing all these horrible things, he's kidnapping his daughter, the main character from the 7th game, and killed his wife, is because I feel like there's two things that could happen. Trying to get the antivirus to get the cure, to cure himself, or they have his sister Claire hostage.
right, and which you're saying that the dude that you play in the 7th game, right?
Yeah, he's the main character in this game.
Who Chris saves at the end.
Right.
So we don't know what happened between that time he saved them until that time.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. But
some of those characters, right, are acting just like the characters in Resident Evil 7 are acting, and the characters that are in Resident Evil 8 are almost acting exactly alike but different.
Yeah, exactly. The characters, I should say the villains, the bad guys,
Mm-hmm.
they do act similarly, but the virus is a different effect. Like kind of like how in the 4th game you got the Lost Plagas, it's the parasite.
Mm-hmm.
This one is called the mold.
Yeah, but the Lost Plagas was based off when you get to the root of you get the root of what made the 4th virus from the 5th game, which is the beginning of it.
Right, but this is an entirely new version of the virus. It's like it mutated again. And it's getting stronger. And it's getting so stronger that the monsters that we've fought they're getting smarter, they're getting stronger, they're using weapons now. Like there are these zombie-like creatures who are like fodder of the game. They're starting to use swords now. They're starting to use crossbows now, like in the village from the 4th game.
Wait, zombies are loading and firing crossbows?
Yes.
No, wait.
Can you call them zombies though? No,
they're not
mutated humans, I guess, is the better term. Is that the
Alter?
That's a better way of saying it. Yes, I would say mutated humans or infected individuals. There we go. That's a better way of saying it.
Coronavirus.
I'm also interested with the main antagonist, the main antagonist of the story, not Chris. There is a character who goes by the name. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Lady Dimitrescu.
Oh, that's like yeah.
She's super tall.
Yes, the super tall vampire lady who is the one responsible for basically orchestrating all this bullshit.
She reminds me of Pam from True Blood.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. She's actually based off. Her character is based off of a Japanese urban legend in Japan. You ever heard of the Hachisaku-sama?
Is that the nine-tailed fox?
No, that's the 8-foot tall lady with the straw hat. She kidnaps children.
Why don't you, if you can you like get a screenshot of that scene where she's like standing up right next to a chandelier?
Yeah, she's super tall. Hold on.
And so my thing is now it's a parasite now. It's not a virus.
No.
Right. It derived from being a virus to being a parasite. I don't think this is. I think this is good. I don't know. You be the judge. This is close. All right. So this is what she looks like, and I googled the urban legend.
This is the game.
Yeah, this
that looks good though.
She's the main villain, and these are her daughters. They're chasing you around the castle, trying to kill you.
I'm gonna fuck that one up. I'm gonna fuck you up. Like that's the one thing about when it comes to games like that. I'm just like I got my heart set on one of them because I'm gonna fuck them up when I get the right gun.
And the funny part is that everyone is simping the ever living hell out of this woman. Oh God, I'm not supposed to say that, am I? Can I say that word?
You said sipping, like
yeah.
I don't even know what the hell it means.
Okay, so let's.
I'm too old for your young terms, there, young blood.
All right, let me just stop using it altogether since you don't know it. Basically, everyone's hot. It's got the hots for this tall lady and her daughters, and
Gamers are so weird. I swear. Shit.
And it's one of the reasons why is because she reminds people of Lady Deathstrike and Lust because she has these claws that comes out of her fucking fingers and stuff like that.
Same thing like Nemesis had. He had the,
Right, but it wasn't like it was more thinner. But anyways, they're chasing you around the mansion. They're trying to kill you because
the mansion,
not the mansion, the castle.
Okay. Woo, bro! I was about to say word.
What's the difference?
Ronnie, hold on. With Resident Evil, at least for 0 and 1 and 7. Is always based in a house, so it's always a mansion. It's always like, oh, this big.
It's always a mansion. It's always a castle. It's always a big house.
So it's a trigger word for all the fans.
Yeah. That's why I was like, the mansion.
Yeah.
Derek, do you mind if I jump in?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Resident Evil 7 and 8 are special because they take away that third-person option. and you're putting yourself into the first-person view.
Mm-hmm.
With 7, that was the first time that ever happened, and it was like oohs and ahs and like, oh,
there was a game that had the first person perspective. It was called Survivor. It was a first person, like, it wasn't really, it was first person, but yeah, it came out first, but it was garbage. But 7 perfected it. It perfected it.
So, and 7 also didn't have any zombies.
Right.
Well, who are you fighting in 7?
Black mold.
Basically, it's
no. In 5, you're shooting black people like 100% African. So don't give me that look.
True.
Wait, what?
In Resident Evil 5, they were killing Africans, black people, all of them.
I'm sorry. This is why I can't stand 5. That's one of the reasons why I can't stand it, and that shitty AI, Al. But
hold on, before you continue.
Why are they in a third world village when they got cities and shit in Africa?
Oh, they did do that. They killed people. They killed Asian people in 6.
But they were in cities. They actually looked like they were high class people. They
weren't. They were everyday people in 6.
Hold on. And
so wait, so did each game have a different ethnicity to be eradicated?
Pretty much,
yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Maybe I will play it now.
First game was
only certain ones though, not all of them. Yeah, bully.
Okay, so 4 was Spanish, 5 was black people, 6 was Asians. Apparently, I haven't gotten a chance to play 6 yet. 7 was black.
7 was broke country people.
Okay,
broke country people.
Louisiana.
It was poor. It was poor
Louisiana.
Yeah, it was poor white people. It was poor white country people. That's what it was.
But they got okay. Go ahead. I'm going to stop.
The appeal with 8 is that they're moving away from all the zombies and not doing all the traditional stuff anymore. So now they're doing something new.
Supernatural shit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because you can't really the monsters in there. You can't really tell whether they black or white or not, because most of them in the village part of the game, you encounter the Lycans who are like infected werewolves who can't turn back to human. Like werewolves can turn back to human, Lycans can't. There is also another villain in the game who people are saying that he might be a werewolf, the tall lady's brother, but I feel like he's a vampire too, and he's got supernatural powers too. He's got telekinesis.
So let me get this straight. We go from, hear me out. We go from having a virus, a biological virus that is man-made, to that being the story, to a parasite that infects this big dude that chases you around the entire game. Not just one game, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games. To learning in about the virus originating from a plant and people and them using it and fucking it up and making it something else. To 6 is the same type of fucking thing. To 7 wind up being some type of parasite that changes you altogether.
Well, 4 was a parasite too, remember?
You know what I mean.
A mold. Mold.
Something. Land of the Body Snatchers, you want to call it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And then you have 8 where you have werewolves and vampires. Now, hold up. I'm okay with horror games sometimes. I just don't like all horror games. Resident Evil is one horror game that I actually do play. I didn't buy 6 and 7 because I was like, fuck that shit. And I was right. And so I'm like, wait a minute. Vampires and werewolves. How did werewolves and vampires exist in Resident Evil? Or are you telling me that this parasite mutated them enough to turn them into supernatural creatures that was supposed
hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me explain. these are the reason why they're called that. These are designations. Now you can say that oh, you know, they're not really vampires and werewolves. They're in, how should I say this?
There's also the scientific background to what you're doing, because it's not like the magical zombies. There's
right.
a scientific explanation.
It's biological.
So they're mutants essentially.
They're mutants.
Okay.
They're designated as such because they inhibit, or what is the word?
Exhibit.
They exhibit. There we go. They exhibit the qualities of what vampires do, what werewolves do. Like for instance, the vampires, they have a whole wine cellar full of blood. They have a whole wine cellar full of blood. Second,
vampires that have that are pretty much a hive, because what they do is put humans in some type of.
That's true. That's true, but that's not all. There's
like grandma making sauce.
They are also very, very nocturnal. They hate the sunlight. They can't go out in the day. That's why that area is so dark. It's so snowy, so cloudy. That's why they're in that area in that Transylvania-esque setting. The werewolves, as I said, going back to what I said before about the lichens, they can't change back to being human. Werewolves, however, can change back into human form. Go ahead.
Like, I'm trying to. I can understand a vampire to a certain aspect, because maybe they're not vampires. Maybe they're kind of like I Am Legend vampires, where they do bite you and they suck, and they infect you that way.
Right.
I understand that. But a werewolf?
Yep.
Wait.
Scientifically, to me, a werewolf is easier to understand than a fucking vampire.
They're basically fucking werewolves.
Okay. How? All right. So we, as humans, we already have hair follicles. 90%.
Good discussion. I'm waiting.
Well, I mean, okay. Scientifically, humans already have hair on their body, so let's accelerate that hair growth. Just like your beard. So let's just make this get longer. Let's make this get longer. The hair on your back and like everything just intensifies.
Right, now, wolf, I'll be a Neanderthal.
Well, look, I just started my explanation, son. Just sit back and let me tell you a tale.
I'm sorry.
Now, at the end of the day, humans are very animalistic. So if certain parts of the brain become hyperactive, and okay, so we intensify strength, okay, and musculature. So you have the ability to jump higher. You have the ability to literally rip people in half if you soup up that strength to that level.
Here, let me show you what they look like. Well, go ahead.
I mean, if they're walking on hands and legs, four-legged, maybe they can move faster that way, because they're galloping now with 4 as opposed to 2 limbs. So if they're hunting for speed, or to say they're hunting and they need speed, that's faster. But shit, scientifically explain a fucking vampire to me, goddammit.
Well, like I said, I can understand how they would be vampire-like because of the way they are, like I Am Legend. Like, so in I Am Legend,
that's not crazy. That looks like the dude from Underworld.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the lead character from Underworld became a vampire, like he didn't get all hairy and shit. He just got more animalistic and more savage. So that's not too far-fetched.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's not really a werewolf.
Yeah, but when you look at the picture, when you look at Chris's
far away, I need an up-close picture.
When you look at, okay, I'll
see in that
right there.
Yeah, but he's that right there. He's actually changing into a werewolf. He's not really a lichen. Like, you know what I mean? Like that.
That's why I explained the difference between a lichen and a werewolf. They're imperfection. They're imperfect versions of what a werewolf is supposed to be. Lichens are like infected. with the virus, but they have no control over the transformation whatsoever.
Right, but the question is, how did they get infected?
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. We'll find out in the game.
I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Have any of you guys seen either play the demo or watch the showcase that came on like last week?
I did. I didn't get to play the demo because it's exclusive for PS5 owners, but next month for people who have a PlayStation 4, they'll be able to play the demo.
I mean, I can play the demo.
This game going to be PlayStation exclusive?
No.
No.
There is going to be a second demo in the spring.
What I hope. I hope that I just hope it's not exclusive. If it is exclusive, it's going to be very upsetting. But hello, Magnus.
Yo, Magnum Ehi's joined the chat. What's happening, brother? Aloha. Thanks for coming by. We're currently discussing the new announcement of another Resident Evil game and how Max doesn't really give two shits about it. Go ahead, yo.
I'm just intrigued about it because I still it's kind of fucking me up, Rodney, because I'm like, how the fuck did they turn?
How is it possible?
Okay.
Because if you know the
they'll explain it in the game better than I did.
I'm trying to explain to Max. If you know the Resident Evil lore, you can see like the lore of like they've been zombies, and then you figure out that there's a parasite and everything like that, and and we're not. It's nothing too far fetched because when you get to Nemesis, he's pretty supernatural when you think about it too.
Yeah, I mean, in Resident Evil, as far as I'm concerned, like anything is fucking possible. They could turn into cyborgs for all I know, and really for all I care. My thing was like what you were saying is you could understand vampirism, but you couldn't understand werewolves. And I'm like, well, dude, werewolves is a lot easier to explain into scientifically than vampirism would be.
Well, but here's the thing, in that aspect, and when you're talking about vampires, you can understand I can understand the concept of vampires in Resident Evil because of what they did, because of how Resident Evil 7 went, and they're crazy and everything like that, and they're not in their mind, and in order way for them to feed is to feed off of, be cannibalistic and feed off of humans or and just drink their blood, but in a way where like I Am Legend's vampires were like, because supposedly they were supposedly vampires, but
okay.
I'm interpreting it.
Bully, what are you gonna say?
Okay, so Resident Evil vampires is not the way that you think of like any traditional vampires.
Vampires. Right. I agree.
Literally bugs mold into one body.
That's exactly what I was gonna bring up, because they're able to deform themselves into a swarm of these insects. I don't know what kind of insect it is, but they're the ones they're the man-eating kind, basically.
Bed bugs.
Yeah, basically. They can chew into your flesh and then they'll swarm inside you and eat you on the inside out.
So this is going to end up looking like that last Transformers movie when they had Transformium.
No, I think it's, what it is?
Like, seriously, like that's going to be the big thing. Like, they fly now. Seriously?
Oh no.
They fucking fly now.
You know what's weird? I think they become if you're saying they go inside you. So are they the Beatles from
the Mummy? Yeah, they're just like that.
Yeah, and then you also have they could be some version of that, or bed bugs.
Bed bugs.
Rodney, I highly recommend you just to watch the showcase.
Honestly, the showcase shows them everything from the first game.
No. Just for
I'll check it out.
Well, here's the
money. It's probably up on YouTube, so why not?
If you're really interested in Resident Evil,
nope. I'm not. You can stop right there. I'm not really interested in Resident Evil.
He's just gonna watch. He's just gonna check out it, and that's it.
I'll just watch the YouTube video of the showcase to see what y'all talking about, and that'll be about it.
No, what I was gonna tell you is that there's a history of every from the first game all the way up until that.
I'm sure.
And I was like, you can just watch that.
All right, Max, there is a gameplay trailer and there is the actual official trailer. So there's two things you just need to watch. That's it. You don't have to watch anything else.
Duly noted.
Gameplay trailer, nothing but us running away and shooting and running away.
I mean, isn't that all of Resident Evil right there, though? Shooting and running away from shit?
Basically.
I think I'm all right. I'll stick with the Division.
Got about the judo kick and the suplex.
Speaking of Division,
that was hot. I love when they implemented that for 4. Where
didn't Bully? Wouldn't you say that there was supposed to be a Resident Evil skin coming to Division?
Yeah, that is going to be on
February 2nd
to the 20th.
So you get a skin of who?
Leon Kennedy. So it's going to be a police outfit.
Leon Kennedy, which doesn't look like Leon Kennedy, by the way. I said it.
Raccoon City
It's
Police
the clothes.
Department.
You won't look like him.
It's just the outfit. It's
gonna look like Luke on the end of the Mandalorian episode.
Pretty much.
Battlefront
Luke is here to save the day.
Oh gosh, speaking of multiplayer games. Max, you're gonna get a kick out of this. It's kind of like the Division, but they're I don't want to say kind of. There's gonna be a multiplayer version of the game coming out. It comes with the 8th game. It comes with Resident Evil 8. When you pre-order it, and it comes out a few days. I think a few days or a week after the 8th game's initial release.
Mm-hmm.
And the game is basically like you die and you respawn into a zombie, basically a BOW, a bio weapon like Nemesis.
They did that for Call of Duty during Halloween.
Did they?
Yeah, when you die, and you played on the Warzone at nighttime, right? And
that's for Halloween, right?
It was Halloween. Basically, you're a normal person, and the first person that dies turns into a zombie. Then you can start everybody. And then when you start infecting, like the zombie doesn't just run fast; they jump high as fucking hell, and they do a whole bunch of
the Hunter from Left 4 Dead.
They jump high and everything. It was a pretty good event that they had for Halloween that I thought was really good. It was cool. I love being a zombie jumping around and killing motherfuckers because they give you like a EMP grenade so you can't use any fucking thing on you. And you could just bite them and turn them into. It was pretty good.
They're shitting out all this stuff, and I'm sorry not to interrupt you. They're shitting out all this stuff, Rodney, because it's the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil.
So 25 years of games that I couldn't care less about. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Joel.
Basically, but
so is there a new movie coming out, or is Mila Jovovich doing this Monster Hunter thing?
The movie, but it's not with her.
No more movies.
Nobody knows how well did Monster Hunter.
They're the animated movies. You could check those out. There are animated movies and CG movies.
Fuck.
It is based off of the game.
How well did Monster Hunter do for her to make another one?
It was shit.
Well, could anybody really make money with COVID going on in the movies outside of the U.S. Maybe, but not in?
Wonder Woman tried the shit.
But it wasn't.
She ain't that strong. That last of truth couldn't pull nobody into the theater. That's for damn sure.
I had to stop.
Why go pay money for it when you're already paying money for Disney Plus? Like, ain't nobody gonna go to the movie to see that shit.
Oh, I just want to. I'm sorry. Speaking of that, I just want to go off topic. I saw Mulan for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't like it.
A lot of people didn't.
I was like, you deprived me of three fucking songs in a whole damn movie for this.
They couldn't sing.
No, they didn't want the musical at all. They didn't want any songs being sung.
Yeah,
they didn't want Mushu either.
They didn't want no money, obviously.
How the fuck you do let him like do Aladdin And then you're like, oh no, we don't want any songs in Mulan.
I ain't gonna front. I didn't like Aladdin that much. Well, neither. You know what? I'll say this. Aladdin was a lot better. A lot better than I thought it would be. The only problem I didn't like was what they did
Will Smith.
What they did with Jafar.
Blue magical Negro.
Yeah, I didn't like what they did with Will Smith or the Jafar. Like how
Jafar didn't even look that threatening.
Yeah,
and Will Smith just looked like a giant blueberry.
He looked too young to be just like he looked too young.
Because he was an old, weird, creepy guy who was trying to get it in with Jasmine.
Right, like he looked too young.
He tried to make him look handsome. That's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, and I don't need Jafar handsome. That's the thing. I don't need Jafar to be looking good. Jafar don't look like somebody I want to go on a date with.
Right.
That's what they did. They're like, do I want smooth Aladdin, or do I want hairy beard Jafar? Jafar.
The real Jafar.
I'm just saying, like I didn't like. I mean, for Mulan to not do one of the songs that won them a Grammy, by the way.
Wait, real quick, can I just point out that I love the fact that we went from talking about a survival horror game to fucking
Mulan
movies for kids.
Talking about
I love how conversations go like that.
Streaming like movies that are not making money. it's just weird. Like I wouldn't even pay to see that shit in the theaters. Like they had no songs. I was like, nope. I want to see it.
Back a couple like
here's a
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh shit.
Billy.
No, I said that they pushed back Mulan like a year because they knew the movie wasn't going to be good.
Yeah, they did. They did that because it was like, those songs and this shit. Shit, push this shit back.
Let me introduce this question to the table and let me know how y'all feel. What movie will bring you back into a theater? Like if everything coming out, right? Marvel shit, sci-fi stuff. What movie are you like, I'll go into a theater and see that? Like, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, nothing's coming to streaming. Nothing's coming to Disney Plus. They're opening theaters up. What movie are you going to take a chance with?
I have the vaccine already. And
no, this is all new shit. So, like, look at like what's supposed to be coming out for 2021 and beyond. What's gonna put you in a theater, Bully?
Blade.
Okay. What about you, Roundhouse?
You know what? You fucked me up with that.
Snatched it right out of his mouth, right?
Hate your hate for that. Because I know it's coming out, and I don't know how it's coming out. I would honestly say Deadpool 3, because what?
Yeah.
No.
No. Hey, this is opinions. We don't argue opinions around here.
I'm okay with it being disputed, though. I mean,
if that's your pick, you ain't got to explain it. That's Derek. Where you at?
The movie that fucking is a documentary that teaches people how to put on a fucking mask properly and wash your motherfucking hands so we won't have to deal with this shit no more. That's the movie I would go to.
Oh, Songbird. It's already out.
Stupid.
Songbird's already out.
Oh
but seriously, like what's going to put you back into a theater?
Damn, man.
Will it?
I'm a fucking sucker for giant monsters. So Godzilla.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna see it in HBO Max first, though, but I will see it in a theater.
Yeah. In this scenario, tomorrow, Monday morning, they announced theaters will be opening up. News coming to the streaming like that. No big blockbuster joints.
Right.
So for me, I think my next trip to the movie theater is going to be The Matrix 4.
Ooh.
That's good because it won't be out for a while. It won't be out for like at least.
Neither will I. but honestly enough, like everything. I mean, Blade's a good pick too. Blade may get my ass in that seat. Just like seriously, it may get my ass in that seat. because I'd love to see that, and I'm really excited to how they're going to do it, what they're going to do with it. But aside from that, I mean, the He-Man Masters of the Universe movie got pushed back, and it's probably going to get canceled again.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they've been planning a Motu movie for years. They actually cast a guy to be He-Man. I forgot the guy's name, but like, yeah, well that's been in the works for over a decade now, man.
Max, I'm just gonna say this now. You're not gonna. I know how much big fan you're a He-Man fan, as much as I am. But you're not going to see He-Man movie. You'll see the new cartoon on Netflix.
There's 2 cartoons coming on Netflix, by the way.
So we technically have one already.
Isn't Kevin Smith directing one?
Kevin Smith is directing Masters of the Universe Revelations, which picks up from the old cartoon. And then there's going to be another one called Masters of the Universe, which is going to be more it's going to be, the Kevin Smith one is anime done by the same people that did Castlevania.
Oh,
yeah, and then there's another one that's just titled Masters of the Universe that a little, not a lot is known about it yet, but it's supposed to be separate from the Kevin Smith one. But before that was all even announced, they announced that they were moving forward with the Masters of the Universe movie, live action. They cast this dude Noah something that was that's supposed to be playing He-Man, and before COVID hit, the thing kind of stalled out a little bit as they've been trying to make Masters of the Universe movies since the Dolph Lundgren one came out. Like it's always been like a Hollywood thing. Like, yeah, we're going to make a Motu movie. There's YouTube videos with people that write scripts. Well, it's not procrastinating. In order to do that movie, like you need the same kind of budget as Star Wars.
That's true.
Yeah. In order to do that movie, in order to do Eternia, you need Star Wars money. Go ahead, Bully. What do you got?
I agree.
I actually have a question that has nothing to do with He-Man.
We'll save it for somebody else. We're talking about He-Man. Again.
I'm going to flip around your question.
What movie makes me sick?
No, man. I'm getting too real right now. Will the theater industry actually survive COVID?
Yes.
Hell no.
If it does, it's going to require streaming services to back down now. And I think that now streaming services are so in the lead to where I think a lot of like mom and pop movie theaters are going to shut down because they don't have the business at all. And now that everything that's coming out of Warner Brothers has been slated to go to HBO Max, what is there left for movie theaters to even do?
I have hope.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like they could do like a movie theater would maybe do like a Marvel marathon, like the AMC dine-in theaters. They could maybe hustle it into an experience, get some cosplayers to come out, stuff like that. But as far as getting exclusivity on new content, I don't think so, because the system is already adjusted for straight to home now.
Yep.
I don't know why they would go back to that. Only reason they would be money. Like if they're not making the $1 billion, like you can't have a blockbuster now. You can't have a blockbuster movie sitting at home. It's a different world.
You can have like best movie streamed or something like that, or top movies streamed on Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, whatever. But you will never actually have that
box office money.
Yeah,
because like how do you separate the revenue generated from one movie versus the revenue generated from another movie if they're both on the same platform? Like, are you looking at like views, like how many times this movie is watched? Like the whole money, the bean counting system is now different, and I think that's why everybody came up with their own streaming service. Peacock for NBC, HBO Max is now the Warner Brothers hookup. Disney Plus got the Marvel. Like everybody kind of retreated to their own corner, and I think now that's where the money is going to be going. And I seriously don't think we're going to have a movie industry, at least here in America. Outside the U.S., the movie industry may still work. Like China has always been like a strong movie market to the point of where like movies get edited to appease the Chinese market. So I think that will still be, outside the US, we'll still have movies, I believe. But here in the States, what?
Don't forget the posters.
Yeah, so I said things get altered for the Chinese market. Nobody alters, shit for, the Caribbean market or the Spanish market, but yet, I think to answer your question, Billy, I don't see movie theaters in America being a thing. But I could be wrong. I honestly thought that they would not bring toll booth collectors back. I thought that would be the final nail in the coffin for toll booth collectors, but it seems that they've returned to their booths. Aloha, Magnum. Yeah, see, case in point, Magnum Nihai is out in Hawaii, and like everything is all shut down now, because of the whole COVID situation. And they're a tourist place. And if nobody's touring, where's your business? Same thing with movies. If nobody's willing to go out and amass in a public place, or even if, even with 3 spaces between the next guy in a movie theater, will you generate enough ticket sales to keep the doors open? I don't think so. Until the Matrix comes out, then I'll be there.
It's all up to the people. Like I said before, these people, everybody has to do their part. You gotta wear your mask. You gotta wear it properly. You gotta wash your hands. You gotta keep a safe distance away from people.
Thank you, Dr.
Limit your. You're welcome.
Dr. Skywalker.
Limit. Oh no, I'm a doctor of murdering children.
It's just botched surgery. That's all. It's just botched surgery. He's got a blue scalpel. Get the blue scalpel, Dr. Skywalker. Cutting off hands and shit.
Don't forget your red eyes.
I think though too, like now that we have this vaccination situation, that's going to be the focus for the entire 2021 year.
Yeah, just being safe.
A lot of theaters aren't going to be able to keep their doors open. So your mom and pop places are going to shut down. Your big AMCs, you got AMC and you got Lowe's. Those are the 2 big movie companies, correct?
Regal.
Okay. So yeah, is Lowe's even still a thing? Lowe's is now a hardware store chain. Is there Lowe's movie?
Yeah.
Here's the other thing too. I will say this about I was listening to you while I was going to the bathroom.
Yeah, we heard. Yeah, you turned the camera up and not your microphone.
You be all right. Actually, I was pouring tea.
Nah, that wasn't no tea.
Yeah, it was. I was pouring tea. That's why
Magnum Nihai said, Walmart and McDonald's can live, but all the mom and pop places out there have closed. Have all but closed.
Yeah. What I was saying about the movie theater is, I think movie theaters may or may I think movie theaters may not go away. Especially AMC and stuff like that. Only reason why is because
come on, nigga, get to it. Shit. I gotta go pee. Hurry up.
Because one, I think people want to pay. People do like paying to go see a movie in the theater. And even though the pandemic has kind of put a hold on that, people still went to the movie theaters anyway. It may be empty.
Yeah, but some movie theaters closed.
Yeah,
almost indefinitely.
The mom and pop ones
because they didn't work.
Yeah, the corporations will keep them open.
Yeah,
the AMC Corporation and the Regal Corporation. But if you look at the AMC stock has dropped dramatically.
Yes, because it's nobody's being put in the seats, and they have to rearrange the actual movie theaters now.
But you also got
people in the movie theaters. One, you have to have them 6 feet away.
I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Y'all get ahead.
So it's going to change. It's going to change a lot, and I think it already began to change because you got people going to movie theaters, so they're trying to alter it. I think they're really trying to get people back in the seats, and the reason why I think people are going to get back in the seats is because of the technology. Right now, you got IMAX theaters are getting better technology when it comes to movie theaters. And it's also the movie theater experience. That's the other thing too. Experience itself is unlike nobody else. Granted, you can do a watch party, but a watch party is not as good as being next to somebody and experiencing it at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
I don't think they're going to go away because just for the experience, I don't think movie theaters are going to go away. Just because of that, and the technology, the IMAX theaters and everything like that. Because they're doing IMAX theaters, they're doing for like things like 8K, whatever theaters and shit like that now. So the technology is going up, and that means people will want to see stuff like certain movies that really make it pop out. You know what I mean? Like Avatar.
There's also more of theaters allowing people to rent out the entire theater for one or two people to just watch a movie by themselves without anybody else in the room with them.
Yeah, it could be they're letting people rent them out for like say me, you, and Bully and Matt. And then we rent when Max brings his family, we bring a couple people with us and stuff like that. That's it. Like that's what.
There's still going to be a capacity because there's still.
If you think how many people we bring, like if he brings his family, that's 6 people. Bully brings whoever he wants, roommate, whatever. And I bring whatever I want, and you bring whatever you want. Let's, 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 people. That's enough right there to rent out a whole theater and we'll be all right.
What's enough? I'm sorry, I just came back.
I was saying that because Derek was saying that people are renting movie theaters out. I was like, yeah, that's people something doing that now. Like if we have like you bring go to movie theaters, you bring your family, Bully brings whoever he wants, 2 or 3 people. Derek brings 2 or 3 people, and I bring 2 or 3 people, and it's like we pretty much rent out that theater. That theater is ours right now to watch the movie, and that's all you need now. And mind you, if I'm saying 2 or 3 people between all of us, that is literally not even because they're changing the seating ranges. That's just the middle section by itself.
Yeah, and that's also those are people that are willing to amass in a public place. That's not a lot of people.
Yep.
With AMC, we already looked into it earlier, and you can have as many as 20 people. Still need to be 6 feet away, and unless you're actually eating something, you have to keep your mask on the whole time.
Sorry.
Perverted
thought in my head.
Now, how does that play out when it comes to the media that you're going to be able to be seen?
Oh shit!
Because in order to show a movie, you are legally supposed to buy the ability to do that.
What do you mean?
When bars do fight nights, they have to get a license to broadcast that fight on their television and allow people to pay to come in. Like that's just not like ordering it at your house.
Yeah.
When people do fight nights at their apartment, technically they're breaking the law because you're not supposed to be charging people to watch something like that. Like you have to get I don't want to. It's not. I think it's like broadcast rights or something like that. And movie theaters do the same thing. That's why they're movie theaters. Legally, they have a deal with the movie studios, and the studios grant them the license to show the movie publicly and to allow people to pay to watch it. Now, is that included in the deal with the AMC Rent a Theater?
Yes. Because there's a certain list of movies you're able to watch.
There you go. So it's not you're not doing that with The Matrix 4 or new movies that are coming out, are you?
That I did not know. I
think The Matrix 4. I think I'll say that The Matrix 4 is going to be monumental. So
right, that's my opinion. It's going to be what
you have to look at. I'll say this: you have to look at Matrix 4 as if it's a. And this is one thing I can't stand. Star Wars is going to make money in spite of itself, regardless. The Matrix is one thing. It's gonna make money, but to get people to get asses in those seats, it's gonna get asses in those seats. That's the thing too. It's going to. And with that type of movie, even for a return of that movie, right? Asses are gonna fill those seats, and it's gonna be packed and sold out.
But they've already announced that it's coming to HBO Max because it's a Warner Brothers production.
Yeah, but they also said it's going to be theaters, like it should.
Yeah,
and HBO Max.
Yeah, but why are you paying for something when it's already at your house?
For the experience of
Yo, I mean, I totally agree, and I love the movie going experiences. But at this point, with everybody being trapped at home, everybody upgraded their TVs, everybody upgraded their sound system already. So you go.
You can't say everybody because not everybody upgraded that much.
Well, people who enjoy the movie going experience have great, have at least quality screen and sound.
I can't even say that. You know why? Because it's cheaper for me, not me, but it's cheaper for me to go to a theater and see that versus, when I come home, I have just a regular TV.
I'll argue that. As a father of two, who basically, if I go to the movies with my family, that's 4 tickets I'm buying, and I didn't even hit the concession stand yet. Yeah. So I could dump out a good $150, and then walk away with nothing afterwards but the experience. Dude, you figure if it's $20 per ticket, would you think it's going to be like cheap to go back to the movies? They got to make their money back. If you go to AMC, dude, those tickets are more expensive than the regular mom and pop place. Yeah. I was going to my mom and pop place for $7 Tuesdays, and that was because it was $7 Tuesdays. But I was going by myself, right down, like 5 minutes from my house. But if you look at the cost versus return, I'm better off buying a nice TV, buying a nice sound system, and already have the streaming service that's going to be streaming the movies. And why take the risk of bringing my family around the public?
I'm gonna answer that. Magnus said,
he's saying that bars are done too. Yeah, I mean, I think bars will survive way better than movies do because of the alcohol.
Honestly, I'll say this: bars are on their last leg. A lot of bars are on their last leg because bars can't be bars anymore. They have to be restaurants.
And the limited capacity.
Yeah. So they're not. So you'll never. So for right now, I'm saying you will not see a bar without a restaurant sitting.
Yeah.
So all the bars have to change up. Which, when you think about it, some bars don't have the capacity to do food. But they have to.
Yeah, they don't have kitchens.
Yeah, they have to now in order to actually, stay afloat. And it's something that not everybody, they can't be like what they were like, 2 years ago, where it's like you could come every week to the fucking bar and be like meet new people and stuff like that. No, it's nothing like that anymore. That's the thing.
You know what I heard? I heard there was a couple of go-go bars in Texas, and what they were doing was to be delivered, but it was dancers. So the dancers get paid, the chef still gets paid, and the bar can still operate under the guidelines.
Yeah, because
that's amazing.
It's providing food.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's providing.
Yeah, but it's delivered by a stripper.
Yeah.
Now if she comes in and does a little show while she's unpacking, hey man, that's between me and the dancer.
Here's the thing too. Like, if you want to be technical, that's no different from what Sonic does. They do, like, when you go to Sonic, they deliver the food outside. They on roller skates. They deliver that shit.
No, but these people are coming to your house.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like yeah. So they would have it's no different than Domino's, really. You phone your order in and the Domino's guy come in. Except for this delivery person is a lot hotter and dressed in a lot more skimpier stuff. And if she chooses to come inside while the bouncer guy hangs outside, that's between that's between people. That's between two consenting adults, and I have no qualms with people making their extra money on the side. But you can't do that everywhere.
No, you can't. But I mean, that's a good way of making money. But like I said, not most bars now, they have table seatings inside or outside and stuff like that. So
where is this at again?
Texas. Texas.
I'm going to be in Cancun.
You going to Mexico?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Cancun for a wedding in the summer. I might pay Texas a visit.
See, you'll get a lot of action down in Cancun too. But something, man, what you got?
Now he
I
said
was going to say it was 3 consenting adults.
Well, yeah, the bouncer stays outside.
Yeah.
And as long as the delivery girl feels comfortable going into the dude's place, you know.
Yeah.
That's 2 consenting adults.
I mean, yeah, 3 technically, but yeah.
Burns in the chat says some people like to look at their food before eating. Yeah, that applies to a couple different things. But yes, you're absolutely right. I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens when it comes to like movie theaters and stuff like that. But you know, not every place is like the Alamo House, where the Alamo House actually has food.
Yeah,
that's the one thing. That's the one thing that like, and I don't mean like concession stand food. I mean food. Like you go there and like Alamo House has like, you know, recliner seats, almost like you going home, almost like a house where you have a recliner seat, you got a food, a tray, and they bring shit and they bring the food to you. It's not every theater is like that, but I think that's what's going to change. They may be doing that. What's up,
Burns has entered the chat. She's been hanging out with us for a little while. So since we're on the topic of life after COVID, you know, Derek brought up a very good conversation, and it was actually a conversation I had on my Star Wars podcast. Is what are conventions going to be like?
Right.
Ooh.
So that's so here's the thing. We all know that there are some motherfuckers who absolutely don't give a fuck. There are a couple of conventions that are open in Florida. There's Otaku Fest, I believe.
Otaku Fest is Otaku Fest is back.
Yeah, Otaku Fest is back. They're open. They have a policy where you have to have a mask in order to enter, to have entry. And you're good. That's it. But there is no
costume.
You still have to wear a mask
underneath the costume.
If you're wearing a mask and the costume has a helmet or something like that, then that's fine. Yeah,
I'm sure like a bucket or a face mask is appropriate enough.
Yeah. But if you're a character who's not wearing a helmet or a mask or anything like that, you have to wear a face mask covering your nose and your mouth and everything.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish.
What I do not like about it is that it's a fucking anime convention, and there are a couple of anime conventions that are open currently, and they're not doing. Say what?
In the U.S. or?
Yes, in the U.S.
Oh wow!
And they are not like a mask can only do so much. I mean, people next to each other, they're brushing up against each other. I see photos where they're like, it looks like close to fucking Comic-Con. Or it's like traffic, where people are brushed up together and everything.
Yeah, just walking around a con floor, you know, you're packed in. My thing too. Well, Burns says cosplayers can save money on makeup when they wear masks.
True.
That's very true.
Yeah.
My thing is going to be, what about autograph signings and photo ops? Like famous people may not want to be doing cons right now until everybody gets the vaccinations and stuff.
That's another thing, which makes no sense.
They probably have to scan they probably have to have that fucking scanner on your head before you even come close to a guy.
The temperature is not really a telltale sign.
Really,
I know it's not, but you know that's how they supposedly feel safe about it. You know.
Nah, I think the only way that I think what you're going to end up seeing is you're going to see a lot of pre-signed material.
And I'm okay with that.
You're going to see a lot of pre-signed material, which from a autograph seeker's point of view, it takes away the personalization, because it's not like two roundhouse, may the force be with you. You're not going to get that. You'll just get may the force be with you, whoever the hell you're signing it or something like that. Very generic shit that they did in the hotel room, the night before in preparation. You're not going to get photo ops because photos means you got to be next to people and they don't want that.
And everybody's doing like the whole online thing anyway, where they do the virtual meetups.
Yeah.
You've seen those ads on Facebook and whatever. They're doing all that shit too. So there's really no reason for these conventions to be open when the bulk of the business are these celebrities coming in and they're making that money.
Well, two things. One, Burns said you think they'll start assigning seats at cons. I could see that for like exhibit halls and stuff.
Panels, yeah.
You know, panels and stuff. Secondly, it's, you know, cons aren't just for the famous people. A lot of your mom and pop toy vendors, mom and pop comic book shops really make that money on the con floor.
And artists.
And artists too, yeah.
But no, look at it this way. Look at it this way, though. When people look at the booklets, the schedule of the events that are taking place at these conventions, the first thing that these people are going to look for are celebrities. Who are the famous people who are going to be there? Who's the famous artist who's going to be there? Who's the famous actor who's going to be there? Who's the famous voice actor? Musician? They're looking for these people first, not the vendors, not the artist alley artists. They're looking for those people first.
I totally agree. But like you said, people are having cons now, and famous people aren't really showing up. They're going, you know, I'm a toy collector. You know, I go to cons and look at toys. I've only gotten one autograph in my entire life from a con, and it was Billy D. Williams. And honestly enough, it was like before Star Wars was even rebooted. Like I was the third person in line of like 20 people at a con for Billy D. Williams.
True. Wait, no.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like I'm not going to spend my day waiting in line for an autograph or a photo. I'm sorry. The second one was Alan Oppenheimer, the voice of Skeletor. And again, this was at a Garden State Comic Book Fest, and there was nobody in line. Like it was a casual con. People just walked up and did whatever. But like aside from cons, there are people that go to cons for comic books. There are people that go to cons for original art. You know, I know people that literally they buy an artist book, and this is something I wanted to do for 2021. And they go to different artists at different conventions, and they have them recreate a photo of them, like draw me as a Jedi. And then the next page will be this artist drawing me as a Sith and stuff like that. So there's a lot more of a draw at conventions outside of the famous people. Famous people definitely draw a lot of people, but you take the famous people out of the convention, and that can put money into mom and pop toy stores, comic book stores, and even, you know, shit, like I said to you guys earlier, like we could do this at a con.
I gotta say this right now because as we're talking about it, I'm thinking about something else. But still keeps in that con type of setting. So recently there was a hotel reservations or registrations for a bear event or a bear event in DC next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's next year in January. And as I thought about it, I was like, okay, next year January, okay, I could understand next year January. But I'm thinking like cons, I'm thinking about like cons. I'm like, isn't there cons being done right now or about to be trying to do cons this year? Because I know, excuse me, I know Rhode Island Comic Con is doing 2 cons. They're doing one in the summer, and they're doing one in their regular schedule, which is November. Which is always November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. They always do the first week of November.
Can I stop you right there for 1 second? Burns in the chat says, might have been hard for those con ticket holders who couldn't get refunds due to COVID. As far as I'm informed, almost every con that got canceled offered refunds, including Star Wars Celebration, because I got my money back for the tickets that I had for that. Burns, go ahead, Al.
And so I was thinking like, okay, if cons are going to be starting up this year and with no sign, and that was the thing that freaked me the fuck out a little bit. Cons were starting up the 2021 with no sign of vaccination, you know, and it was a little weird. And I think, you know, I don't want to get political at all, but it felt like, even I was telling Max too, I was just like, you won't catch me in a con in 2021. I was like, I'm not sure I can go unless everyone, and I mean, is vaccinated. And I mean, and what I mean by vaccinated, I just don't mean like this, like what we got right now. I mean like it's something that's curable for the pandemic. Like, you know, it gets rid of COVID, that type of, you know, thing where it don't affect you anymore. And then that kind of.
Can I ask you this?
Hold on. And then I'm like, and I think to myself, like, I'm not sure if I would want to go to a con still, because you still have motherfuckers who are just as fucking dirty and nasty as ever. If anything, this pandemic did, it showed how fucking nasty some people are. Like, people will go, like, you remember going to the Comic Cons, like cons everywhere, where you smell funky ass motherfuckers that go to cons, don't wash their armpits, don't wash their ass, don't.
They're the ones with the great immune system because they've been fighting off whatever the fuck they had before, so they're not getting it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember going to a con and literally, no lie, I could smell like this dude's balls coming from his pants. I was just like, oh, that's stench. Like, oh, what did you do?
Woo! Balls, butt, and body, baby. Balls, butt, and body.
I'm like, what did you do? And then you got nerve to wear a costume?
What did you do?
Like, what
Oh my god! He did what?
I'm not saying
what
that
did he not do is the question.
I'm not saying that the dudes are any better, or the women ain't any better. Some of them don't wash their ass neither. I'll be like, girl, what's wrong with you? Like,
oh my lord!
Like, come on. There's just sometimes there's just no proper con etiquette. And I'm just like, and so many people get up early in the morning just to go get the artist paper, get, you know, autographs and whatnot, or this and that. Also, I'm like, I'm not leaving my bed funky to go see some movie star. And when he gonna be like this, not even like, you know, back then some of these stars would just hug you, be like, oh yeah, you know, picture, whatnot. Some of these motherfuckers be like, don't even want to touch you and shit because your ass is funky as fuck. So I'm like, I don't know about cons like this year. I just don't know. And I told Max about this, because I told him my worry about that. Because you're in a confined space. That's one. Two, you're in a confined space. Two, you got people in costumes. Three, you have people that are funky as fuck and don't really know how to shower and wash their balls and armpits and ass and everything. So they just go there like.
Remember what happened? Remember what happened to that cruise where everyone got infected? You're also sharing the same air because you're all in one hotel.
Exactly. And then like
ventilation.
Certain conventions are not suited for the amount of people that come into that shit. Like, if it's not the convention center in Orlando, which the convention center in Orlando is so fucking huge that it stretches out an entire fucking like 2 blocks. That's enough to fit everybody at a con. The problem is the con is not spread out that way. It's spread in it's only in one area, confined area, which I don't know if like cons are going to be able to do stuff like that. And that's the thing it comes down to me, because I think about hold on. I think about bear events as well, and those events as well. Like, granted, they're bear events, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know, I don't trust going to those things because of, you know, coronavirus. And sometimes those events are confined, like they're not like they're a big gathering, but it's always confined to a small area. And I just don't trust people with. I don't trust people with my health, and that's how I see it. And I'm not trusting the con goers, because I don't trust them neither, or the ones that seek out to go to cons and bear events and all this other stuff. I'm not trusting them, because they're going for their own greedy purpose needs versus actually taking care of themselves and doing what they need to do to be right and not infect everybody or get infected. So I'm just not really.
Let's see.
Sorry,
You're not ready for it yet. Is
No.
what you're trying to say. You're not
I'm
ready for
really
it
not. And that's the part that worries me because I was I'll be like, yo, let's go to this con. Let's go to this con. For somebody like me that loves going to cons in this type of situation that understands the ramifications of going to cons during a pandemic, for a person like me to feel like this, it's not good. I don't like feeling this way. But it's hard for me to trust people when you got people that don't believe in wearing masks will do this. And granted, masks won't do everything, but actually wearing a mask will do better than not wearing one. But also the fact that we got anti-vacciners, and I understand to a certain extent that certain extent, not a whole lot.
Well, we can talk about anti-vaxxing and vaccine.
But I'm saying, like, if there is something that is curable and they're given to us free, why not take it? That's all I'm saying. If it's going to give us back to some type of normalcy, cool. But
that comes down to again, it's a different conversation for a different show. But just to answer it it's a matter of what people believe. It's a different set of values and social norms. Right. But I think Bully had something to say a little while back. What do you got, Bully?
Yep. So what I'm expecting for like the ecosystem of conventions around 2021 to maybe 2023, they're gonna be almost dead.
You said what? Dead?
Yeah, almost dead.
As in low attendance or not happening at all?
Exactly.
Which one? Low attendance or not happening at all?
Both.
Okay.
I agree.
So,
but do you think? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'd like to ask: do you think that the rarity and the scarcity of conventions will boost attendance at those that actually do have? Because those people that are, I don't want to say desperate, but are cramming for a con experience will be more likely to go to this. The other three aren't happening. So, it's like being starving almost. You're willing to eat anything. Do you think that that's going to be a case?
Yes. And I think that's also going to be the foundation of what's going to happen from 2024 and onward. Because by that time, we should have like a herd immunity, at least in the United States. Where about 80% of the population either has the vaccine or has grown some type of immunity to the coronavirus.
Let's hope.
So once we get that sense of normalcy, then people will start to really open up. Like, I really miss going to this con. Let's do like a GoFundMe or a petition to get all this stuff, so that we can have a con again. But during that time of like when everything's dying or like no one's going out, we're going to have a chance that we're going to reach out to some of these famous people like artists and whatnot, and through a different company. It's like, hey, you want a custom design? You talk to these people, that you pay some absurd amount, and then they will send that request to that artist, so then they can deliver that directly to you.
Yeah,
like Cameo kind of thing.
Yeah. Cameo is pretty much what. It's weird. It's weird when you talk about celebrities. I'm not too big. It's a weird conundrum. I guess I'm not too big. Like, there's certain celebrities I want to see, and certain celebrities I'm like, So it's one of those things like I don't really like care too much, but somehow I wind up meeting them anyway, which is weird. It's always weird, but I don't know. There's not enough big celebrity that can drive me to a con to the point where I want to get their autograph. Like, get their autograph right away. You know what I mean? Not right now. You know what I mean? There's nobody celebrity enough to be like, oh my God, I gotta go meet this person and get their celebrity.
Mm-hmm. If Mark Hamill said he was coming to Celebration, you wouldn't. That wouldn't make. What?
I'd be there.
He always does.
Well, I'm saying, like, yeah.
No.
What? Okay. What if Mark Hamill was coming to New York Comic-Con right across the bridge? You wouldn't make an effort to go?
He did Comic-Con, and no, I didn't care. You know why? Because I don't give a shit about New York Comic-Con. And here's the question. Why don't I care about New York Comic-Con? Because New York Comic-Con is corporate. Very, very corporate. It's been corporate for a long time because of ReedPop, and I can't stand ReedPop. Same reason why in some small regard, I can't stand Celebration, because it's run by ReedPop, and they're trash.
Well, I can't argue that whatsoever, because we've all had our different con experiences. I think, something we should have touched on with our movie discussion is that new King Kong trailer. I know people are very excited about it. Personally speaking, I've never been into big monster stuff, but I know I'm just not, man. I'm sorry.
What about robots and monsters?
I remember when Power Rangers first came out, and like how much of a big what that big robot.
It wasn't the same. It wasn't thinking the same.
Man, Power Rangers, big ass robots fighting big monsters.
He's right though. He's right though.
But it seems to be a big deal right now. So yeah, I remember the big fucking deal about it. It's like, oh my god, the Power Rangers are all over the place. It's just like those old, Japanese movies with the dude in the suit.
Like this, I love
stomping the paper mache towns and all that shit.
I love
exactly. So Derek, you seem to be pretty excited about this Kong trailer, man. Like, what are we talking about here?
Had
to wake him up. Derek's falling asleep.
No. Anyways, trailer, it looked pretty damn good. It looked pretty damn good for a movie that's coming out in 2 months. I mean, all things considered, this movie should have been released last year, but due to COVID complications, we had to push it back and, have everybody chill the fuck out. And now we're having it in HBO Max and it's going to be in select theaters. I personally feel like how should I put this? There are going to be a lot of other monsters introduced. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I have a feeling that there is one mecha monster in particular that's going to make an appearance in this movie.
We saw a lot of monsters in the last.
Godzilla.
It could be Mecha Godzilla. It could be Mecha King Ghidorah. It could be Ultraman could be in there too. He's not even a mecha.
Shut the fuck up. Ultraman. Might as well have a fucking superhuman samurai too. Shit.
You said Ultraman? Oh shit. Ultraman. What's
Exactly. Thank you, Justin.
Let's kick some butt.
Listen. Things can happen. I mean, we are getting the rematch of the century. Let me ask you, been waiting for this since 1962.
What's the story that puts Godzilla next to King Kong?
Well, is it a story or not, or the one that's coming out?
The previous one or this one?
Well, I'm asking Derek. I'm asking Derek about this one here that just put how did the two come together?
So the reason why is they wanted to bring Kong into the States because Godzilla is acting up for some fucking reason. They don't know why. He's being provoked.
Hold on, Derek. Hold up. You doing it wrong, bro. You know why they bringing King Kong there. You know you got to go there and get his white bitch. I got her. She right here. I got her. I'm gonna blow him.
I don't think in this political climate with racial inequality that they're gonna have a movie about a giant African monkey stealing white women. I think the time for that shit is already passed.
I got it.
They bring in, a creature from Japan.
Right now.
Anyway, So Derek, the idea. So is this supposed to be like a sequel to the Godzilla movie? Like, is this in the Godzilla timeline, or is this in the King Kong timeline?
They're in one timeline. They share the same timeline because it's in the same universe. They're calling it the Monsterverse, or the Monarch verse, which is the group of scientists who discovered the monsters. They call them.
Godzilla has been terrorizing Japan, and they go.
He wasn't the bad guy until now because something's causing him to act up and going on a rampage. So that's why it's so strange. Oh my god!
He's in heat. And they bring in a big African monkey to calm his ass down. Am I reading too much into this movie? I didn't see the trailer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, monkey, get this fucking lizard on get this lizard on.
Oh my gosh. So
get that black African diamond.
So I feel like the reason why he's acting up is because the reason why I think it's Mechagodzilla is because one, he's considered a god, right? He's a king. He's a king amongst
the monsters.
On the monsters and the whole planet. Building Mechagodzilla is similar to that of building a false idol to replace him. So when they built Mechagodzilla, he's like, oh shit, so you got a new nigga head in town, huh? Okay. So he starts
why did they build Mechagodzilla? Was that supposed to be like a countermeasure?
Yeah, to challenge him. And they're like Mechagodzilla's like being built. I feel like they're building him by the monster terrorist people who we saw at the end of King of the Monsters, who found Ghidorah's head, and they're using like kaiju remains to build mecha versions of the original monsters, so they can use them to like destroy cities and stuff like that. King Kong is the pure countermeasure. Their Monarch is basically.
What's the name? What'd you say?
King Kong is basically.
He got shit on me.
Keep going.
So Monarch is using King Kong as their own countermeasure to deal with Godzilla because he's acting up. He's attacking the wrong people. He's attacking innocent people. So they need to calm him down, and that's where the movie's going. So far, I've watched the trailer like 3 times, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much where it's going.
So we're watching like Training Day with monsters, right?
Lord. Oh my god.
he thought King Kong had shit on him. Okay, Jake got shit on him.
And it could in another positive aspect, it could lead to the Earth Defense Force that we've seen in the past, because they had their own battle force to battle monsters and other threats that are like extraterrestrial, like Destroyer or Space Godzilla.
What?
They were all.
Whoa! Hold up!
Don't go in there. Don't read.
No, you started talking about space. I got to ask questions.
No,
there's a space Godzilla. Hold on, Roundhouse.
Yeah,
there's a space Godzilla.
Yeah, there's a space Godzilla.
No, it's not.
I mean, why not? There's Mechagodzilla.
Okay, so I'm gonna break this down. So Ghidorah is not of Earth. Ghidorah is ancient, an ancient alien. Ghidorah is alien.
He's from
another planet, not Earth, from another planet. And
Ghidorah is the one with the 3 heads.
Yes.
Space dragon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Space Tiamat.
Yeah, Ghidorah upset the balance of the monsters on Earth because nothing really.
He was
not of Earth. That's the other thing too. He's not of Earth.
He was. Oh wait, actually, yeah. They never said that he was from
Is
Earth.
Godzilla of Earth?
Yes, he is.
So is King. All those other monsters that you see at the end of the last Godzilla King of Monsters, they are of Earth. Okay, they are of Earth. They do not have the capability to fight Ghidra. They didn't have the capability to fight Ghidra because Ghidra was not of Earth. King Kong.
So confused.
Who are you?
Me too. Wait, is Mothra from Earth?
Yes.
No. I mean, yes, she is. She is. No, she is. She is.
She is. Okay, I'm checked out. Y'all let me know when this conversation is done. Because Mothra is a she? How the hell you find that out?
She's always been a girl.
They mentioned it in the last movie.
But it's not even just the last movie. She's always been a female.
Do we get baby Godzilla, Godzuki? Does that you know? That's why my old ass. I remember that cartoon with little Godzuki running around. Do we get to see Godzuki?
That's not his son. It's Minya. Minya is his son.
Nah, Godzuki. I like Godzuki.
You talking about the 80s cartoon Godzilla?
Yeah. Godzuki, baby.
Godzuki in the movies. What are you talking about?
Godzuki. I can't say it. It just sounds stupid.
In the movies, it's Minya, but Godzuki's from the cartoon.
But in English, it was Godzuki.
Okay,
all right.
If you want to get technical, fair.
Please tell me why this is going to be a good movie. And not like Resident Evil.
Damn. Al, tell him to give it a try. Al, please. Tell Rodney to give at least it a try. Give it a shot in the dark.
Resident Evil to the Godzilla movies. You can't.
It could be a zombie Godzilla. Hey.
Don't give Hollywood no ideas, D. Don't give Hollywood no ideas.
They would do it before I would even think it.
The thing with Godzilla is that I don't know why Godzilla's freaking out. The thing with King Kong is they've always been trying to capture King Kong, so they all trying to keep a nigga down.
Yo,
they're always trying to capture Godzilla. I mean King Kong. The thing about it is that from what Derek is saying, that they're making their own Godzilla, a Mecha Godzilla. Is the reason why they're making that is because they need something to combat Godzilla. Because what happens is at the end of the last movie, when he claimed King of the Monsters, he also became the protector of the humans as well. Because it was just like he's treating the humans as pets.
Yeah.
Not, so he's like, we're his pet. And they're like, we're his pets. We get out of line.
He sees us as pets. So whenever we act up, he's going to start stomping.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's over for us when that happens because
this is what is in the trailer from what I saw. This is what it comes down to. So us as pets.
So we fucked up.
We fucked up. So it's like we fucked up. So now
he's mad.
He's mad at us. So he's gonna come fucking trample over Japan now. And
particularly Japan, because I think that's where Mecha Godzilla is being built. Also,
Japan. Yeah. Well, who else do you think would build it?
Pacific Rim.
You know what?
We were supposed to get a crossover movie. You know that, right?
You know what? If it was a crossover movie, I'd be ecstatic.
Same. But Rodney, did you know about that? Justin, did you hear about that too? That there was supposed to be a crossover for Godzilla and Pacific Rim.
It did not pop up on my radar, not at all.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
They were working on it, and they were like,
Really, and I just checked out with the big monsters. We're just like, yeah, CGI. I bet the entire movie will take place at night to hide some shitty ass CGI, like the first of the movie.
You're so silly.
I mean, it's all Legendary Pictures, so.
I mean, the thing about the whole Godzilla King Kong versus thing, apparently it was something that was told in the cave by us. When I mean us, I mean
Neanderthals
and stuff like that, and because it was apparently this was supposed to happen supposedly supposed to happen back then. Same thing with Ghidra. Learned that Ghidra was supposedly the king of the monsters.
Who's Ghidra?
I'm Ghidra.
Oh, Ghidorah?
King Ghidorah. I said Ghidra.
Who's are you?
King.
It's not pronounced Ghidra because that's how the hell I've always been told. And said.
I think it's the American way of saying it, and then it was a King Ghidorah. So
it's like Naruto and Nutaro and Nataro, whatever the hell. It's Naruto, right?
What's Naruto and Boruto? Yeah.
Wait, you said Boruto?
Baruto.
Burrito.
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 I had a 10-minute argument with one of my kids because I pronounce it Naruto. She's like, no, it's not Naruto. It's Naruto. I was like, wait, I just said Naruto. No, it's Naruto. I'm like, tomato, kid.
No, see, so it's just how you pronounce it. It's like, it's Naruto. You can say it just like that. And then some people say Naruto.
You could call it any way you want, as long as you don't call it Narutard.
Yeah, Naruto.
Well, no, those are the fans. Ooh, shots fired. Anyway, well, we've gone from big monsters, and we're going to wrap it up with the final topic of the night.
Yes.
Speaking of training day, we got Alonzo down here in the lower right hand corner, Mr. Bully. He's got his black turtleneck on and his black power medallion. He wants to talk about Game Pass, so we'll throw it to him. What you got, brother?
I thought you were going to talk about how I ain't got shit on you.
Where's that tea?
Where's Jake?
So
there you go. It all wraps up. Go ahead, Bully.
there are certain people online who are a little upset about Game Pass.
Why?
Because
what about it?
they feel like Microsoft is stealing their money from the developers because they're unable to buy games anymore if they're on Game Pass. So you have to download them, and you're under control of Microsoft and which games you can play and whatnot. The reality of the situation is, you can still buy it on the stores. That never changed. Not only can you buy it, you can also have a discount for those games if they're actually on Game Pass. So they're trying to promote people to actually get sales and whatnot for those games.
But can you count that as a sale if I'm just downloading it off a rental service?
That's
no,
the question.
If you go to the store and so like you want to buy, let's say, Division 2,
right?
On Game Pass, there could be like a 20% off discount while it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, but what's to motivate me from buying it when I can download it already and play it now because I pay for Game Pass?
Good point.
The difference between the two is, at least with a game like Division 2, it's ever evolving. There's more DLC that's going to come out.
Like all the EA games now are on Game Pass. So sales of Jedi Fallen Order are dropping dramatically, I'm sure, because now people are just downloading it off the Game Pass server as opposed to buying it physically or even buying it digitally.
Yeah.
And you can just download it and delete it and save some space.
Right. And so like is Microsoft giving these game companies money for every download, even if it's under Game Pass? Because they're not getting any money off of Game Pass downloads because they're just getting that $15 a month.
As far as I know, Microsoft never released any type of agreements that they're doing with these companies, but they are allowing independent game developers actually getting their names out there, which is something that
I got that, but I can see big companies being pissed because you're no longer selling my product, you're renting it, and not even and maybe or maybe not giving me the same amount of money per rental that I would be getting per sale.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, I could totally see them being pissed off because, I'm a big purveyor of not getting digital media, because you can always lose access to it at any point in time. Which you paid $35 to $70 for a digital download of a game. What if it's no longer hosted on the Microsoft server anymore? You're not going to get a refund.
You're not going to get a refund
at all. No, you're fucked. And now with Game Pass, paying $15 a month for access to your entire library, how are you getting paid from that? Like, I can see when it's the older games, shit that maybe not selling as much anymore, but new releases and such, like straight, like right on Game Pass. While you could, like, I bought Squadrons for $25 for the digital because I missed the discount. I missed the discount on Black Friday. Walmart had it, the physical copy, for the same price, and I figured, well, maybe they'll have it for the weekend. And I went back and it was gone, so I just downloaded it. But did Lucas? Now that if that goes to Game Pass, is Microsoft cutting checks for every download?
Good point.
Or are they just now relying on sales of physical media? And we all know physical media is being, phased out now.
No.
So how are games, or are they getting a flat rate? Like, are they trying to move it to where game companies receive a flat rate to have it hosted, and it's not per sale? It's just like, yeah, you get $6,000 a month for us to have it, and if they sell more than $6,000, that's profit for Microsoft. I wonder how that deal is going to go, because if it was a good deal, then why would they be complaining?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm first thing, I don't know what they're doing for business. What makes sense is if we're going to rent out your game for X amount of months, you're going to give us upfront. This is how much money we're going to give, and then you're going to have those sales, the profit from the sales. We're going to give it at a discounted price, but you're going to keep the majority of that product, of the money. So not only are you getting Game Pass money, but you're also getting the potential sales from actually buying the game itself for people who actually want it.
If that's the deal. But so what is the complaint?
The complaint is it's changing the environment of how you play games.
Well, yeah, they should have thought of that before they started pushing digital. They should have thought of that before they stopped making game manuals. Because price of games didn't go down, even though the product was reduced. We're actually paying more now for games. So now it looks like the chickens have come home to roost for game developers. And now they're mad because now they're getting screwed. Go ahead.
I couldn't count how many times I was thinking about buying this one particular game, but I didn't want to spend the money because I didn't have the money. Through Game Pass, I'm able to test it out, say oh yeah, I really like this game, or I'm intrigued with this game, but I won't be upset if I actually spent a full price money on this particular game.
Yeah, that choice, that ability to test it out, definitely kills sales. Because back before the download revolution, game companies earned money by people taking the chance on their product. Now they don't get that sale. Now it's a lot like when the record companies stopped releasing singles. Remember, you could get a single on a cassette and it had a B-side, or you could get a single on a record and it had a B-side. That was for the audience to get the product that they want and maybe a test of something else on the B-side. And if they liked it, then they would buy the album. They stopped doing that right before the whole MP3 crash. So you were forced to just buy the whole album on the strength of one or two songs you heard. And if you like the album, great. If you didn't like the album, well, we already had the sale. Fuck you. And now the same thing is happening with because game demos aren't a normal thing anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Unless it's, but remember, you used to get game demos. Even in magazines, you would get a demo disc with 5 demos of games. You know what I'm saying?
Remember Jam Pack?
No, but I do remember EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly, and it would have a little CD inside of it, and you could get, you'll get the first level of a game or something on a demo disc. And now, it's then they stopped doing all of that so they can get that sale. And they saw the rise of the used game market, which doesn't provide any revenue to them whatsoever.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why, and that's why, I believe game developers and game publishers hate GameStop, because that's their business model, is selling the used shit. You know, and they get no profit from GameStop selling the same game 3 fucking times because it's always used. You know, but the crazy part is Microsoft signs a deal with GameStop to push the Xbox. What do they call it? It's not Game Pass. It's a variation of Game Pass, but it's all digital. Like, why would Game Pass? Well, GameStop needs money, but like they signed a deal with Microsoft, and that's why like GameStop will push the Microsoft a little bit harder than the PlayStation because they're in bed with them. Yeah, it's a subscription service. Like I forgot what they called it. It's something.
It's a layaway.
Xbox Gold membership.
Is it the All Access?
It's some sort of subscription service. You get a free year of it if you bought your Xbox Series X with from GameStop.
It's the program where you put down a small amount of money, and as long as you have good credit, you slowly but surely make monthly payments on your Xbox until it's completely paid off.
Well, it's that was a part of it too. But the thing I'm thinking of, it's literally like a Game Pass type subscription to the Xbox Live servers.
Yeah,
and you get like certain games and stuff like that. So I mean, it's another nail in the GameStop coffin because once there's no physical media for GameStop to sell, their doors close.
Exactly, because you literally can't have that without you can't purchase any games without that subscription. You can't purchase any games online and download them without a physical copy if you don't have that subscription. See,
well,
this
is
go
weird.
ahead. Yeah,
Bully.
The whole thing is GameStop refuse. At least the CEOs of GameStop is refusing to switch over to our all digital media website for whatever reason. They even have like experts to flip companies around to make more money.
That's the plan.
He basically said to the investors, like, they are refusing to move forward with this plan because they're too stubborn.
The plan to go all digital for GameStop?
Yes.
How can what would differentiate? What would make them different from Xbox Game Pass then?
Because you can still buy physical discs through the website.
Oh, like turn it into like how Netflix used to be with physical media.
Either Netflix or Amazon or something like that. Yeah.
But it's not renting. You literally buying.
Yeah, but who that's another player in the game that's already oversaturated. You got Amazon, you got Best Buy, like
they're already doing this. Yeah.
But GameStop is already doing it, and GameStop is also has that name recognition.
It's not a great name, though. Let's be real. A lot of people don't like GameStop.
I'm not saying it was a great one. I'm just saying it has name recognition.
I don't shop.
I'm not saying it was a great one. I'm just saying.
I think GameStop. I think that I agree with the CEO because I think a lot of GameStop sales just come from people walking in to kill time on their lunch break, or they're buying something. And it's like, oh shit, I can get this for $3. This is a used Xbox game. Let me get that. Like that's the same reason why you have gum and candy at the register is for those last minute sales.
Last GameStop game.
There you go. So like I agree with it because I think the CEO realizes that if we go all digital, then we're no better than anybody else. And if we don't have the shipping logistical system to match Amazon, who's got next day delivery or 2-day delivery, why go to GameStop?
It's the same question about why would you go to Best Buy? Why would you go to Target for the same thing?
Because they're physically there. Like I could walk in and walk out with my product.
They're not really.
And I did a discount from Best Buy.
Quantity wise, you also got to think quantity wise from GameStop's perspective. Their quantity is low because most of their stores, their corner stores, they're small as fuck. When you order from them, you're expecting a copy for like 2-3 weeks, and Amazon ships a lot faster.
Hell yeah.
You go there to check and see if your order is being sent to you. What's gonna happen? The same fucking shit that happened to me. Oh, we sold out. Wait a minute, nigga! I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, your pre-order may be accidentally sold because the guy didn't realize it or didn't know or didn't.
Yeah. So, and I had to get my money. I got my money back.
That's a one-time experience. I never had that experience where someone got sold my copy.
Well, I have a shit ton of
On
experience.
the same day, or did you wait a couple of days and showed up at the GameStop looking for your copy?
I waited a couple of days, and they kept saying, "Come back, come back." No, they told me to come back, and they still didn't have a copy. I did it again. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll wait again." Nothing turned up. And this is a PS4 copy. It's not like a PS5, and it's not like it's a PS5 itself. It's a PS4 copy. How the fuck do you sell out of PS4 copies that fast?
You'd be surprised.
That's wild.
Something is definitely up because the past like 4 GameStops I've been in have been damn near empty with inventory. Like they used to have this huge box of like, you know, the buy 3 get 2 free and all the markdown games, like all of that shit's gone. Like the floor itself is now empty and it's all on the walls now, which is a major difference.
They were even out of controllers. They didn't even have
shipped over to the warehouses, so then you can have the more digital experience. Where you go on the website, I'm looking for this game. Okay, shipping it now. It may not be Amazon quick, but you know what? It's probably UPS quick.
That's a failure.
Unless you can,
that's a failure in the works, dude.
For the next day, and you can't you can't compare like Amazon money, which is like the owner is like the richest man. Oh wait, no, Elon Musk is the richest man, like the second richest man in the United States or in the world. Excuse me.
Yeah, like if you can't match the mail delivery of Amazon, why become a competitor?
Good question.
Because people will still go over to you. Because
why?
It's still another option. Look at Series X. Do you just go to Amazon and just say, I'm going to check out if they have it? No. Then you don't shop anywhere else?
I think the only reason...
Just say that.
With Series X, you went to whoever had the product.
I mean, are you talking about the Xbox Series X?
Yes.
I have it, so what's the question?
No, the question was you know, do you go to Amazon for one thing? You as far as that item in particular, you're looking for whoever has it. And typically, like, okay, there's 4 gamers here. Derek, where's your first place you go to buy a game?
Originally, it was GameStop, but now it's Best Buy.
Now, are you going to the website or are you going to the store or calling the store to see if they have it in stock?
I alternate a bit of both. I go to the store mostly, though.
Right. It's you're not going to the website and ordering it directly.
Right. Well, now I am because fucking COVID. So website.
Right. Bully, I know you've been staying home for COVID, but before COVID, where would you go buy your video games?
From the store directly.
You would go to the store physically or call to see if they had it in stock and then go.
No. I went to the Microsoft store on 360 if I was going to get a game from there, or at the Sony PlayStation store if I was using my PS3.
So you were downloading it then?
Yeah.
All digital. Yeah. Okay, Al, what about you? Where would you go get a game? New game comes out, where are you going to get it?
Well, before COVID or now?
Before COVID.
Well, before COVID, I worked inside Best Buy.
So you would get it physically from the store?
Yeah. And then, because I did get a discount. And then, you know, here's a conundrum of it. I'll just round this off. I worked inside Best Buy. I didn't work for Best Buy. I worked inside Best Buy. The thing is, too, where I live at, GameStop and Walmart is up the street. So I have my pick of the litter if you really want to be technical.
Yeah, and technically you will go to the store.
Yeah, so because I'll say it like this. If Best Buy did not have it in store and it's sold out, when I go home, I can literally go to Walmart and see if they have it. And then go to GameStop, because GameStop and Walmart are across the street from each other. I can go to either place and see if they have it. Now, because of COVID, I can still go to I won't go to Best Buy because because of COVID, I don't have the job anymore. But I go to Walmart or GameStop if I need to check it out. And the thing about it is, I still can get a discount from Best Buy because I know people there, and still, and get my discount for whatever product I need. So it doesn't.
The short answer is you're not ordering it online. You're buying it physically in the store.
Depends on what it is.
Okay. My point being is it's a bad move if GameStop is going to rely on online sales for its future.
Yes.
Because the only thing that GameStop has over the online realtors is their brick and mortar stores, where you could literally walk in and kill a couple hours, on job on like I'll go into a GameStop because I'm bored, or I'm between job sites, or I got some time to kill, or I'm on lunch, and I may buy something if they have something sitting there for a couple dollars. That, hey, I'll try this game; it's cheap. I'm stocking up on Xbox Live games, or I should say Xbox One games, to the point where like I literally have a stack of games still in the wrapper that I've never even opened and started playing yet. At some point in time, I'll get to them. Now, I wouldn't have spent that if I didn't see it physically in the store. A lot of these games I wouldn't have gone looking for, but I bought them because they were literally like $5 or $7. And sure, let me see about a different experience. If GameStop goes straight into the mail market, they've got too much competition. And with their shitty reputation from the millions of YouTube videos about why you shouldn't work at GameStop and why GameStop sucks,
I'm one of those people.
A lot of people, like GameStop lived for the grandmother and the mother and the father to walk in the store. Yeah, I need that new Madden game for my kid for Christmas. Like, and the salesman, knowing that they're dealing with an uneducated non-gamer, can take them to where they got to go. What system, sir? Oh, it's the white one. Okay, so you got an Xbox. Okay, great. Now you take that you take that physical approach away, GameStop's done.
Yes, because somebody. Oh, sorry, brother. Go ahead.
I will say this, and this is my last point. That same brick and mortar store, they have to pay rent. They have
absolutely,
to pay, and they will save so much more money if they reduce the amount of stores that they have. Even if they got rid of all their stores, they're still saving some money with that. And
yeah, they're saving money.
The only thing is unfair for you to say like people will just drop them like a hat because Amazon, just what happens, has a 2-day shipping. We don't know what's going to happen in the future once they actually have all the extra money. Maybe they will be able to compete. Maybe they won't.
I mean, okay, them losing the expenditure of the brick and mortar stores, that loss will be what's the word? What's what I'm looking for? The other side of that loss is now having to pay to up their logistics game. Now you got more drivers you got to pay. Now you got more shipping containers to have to move product. Now you have to have more warehousing. So it's not like they're going to just be having such, this. They're not freeing up that much extra money, I don't think. And as I said before, they lose the walk-in sales, and that's money for them.
Can I just be honest? Because I worked inside. I worked for GameStop at one point in my life, and I worked inside Best Buy. Here's the thing: when it comes to either of those stores, and I worked at Walmart. Fuck, Jesus Christ, I worked at all three. When it comes to those places, people now. I understand the pandemic and everything, but when it comes to like actually physically being there, people are gonna go inside Best Buy, gonna go inside GameStop, gonna go inside Walmart. They're not really relying on too much of the shipping things. If it's not like when it comes to physical copy of something.
Wait, who's they? You talking about the business owner or the patron?
Both of them, the patriotic of that. You know what I mean?
The customer.
Yeah. When it comes to like GameStop trying to do the shipping in there, like what Amazon's doing, they're out there, they're outclassed because not only do they have to worry about. Not only are they competing with not Amazon, they're competing with Best Buy, they're competing with Walmart, and
Target as well.
So you're competing with 4 other conglomerates, and they are way outclassed by them, especially with Walmart by itself. I'm taking Amazon out of the equation because Amazon is in a lane of its own. I'm just talking about Walmart and Best Buy. In like their shipping by themselves outclasses GameStop completely, like in the most regard. And not to mention, sometimes you can't go, like, you want to go inside the store to see what is available. Sometimes it may not be shown online. So those stores
That's
still
a good point. Like online, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you raise a very good point. Like, as a toy collector, the online quantities don't always represent what's really in the store.
Exactly.
Oh, well, your website says you have 5, but there's none on the damn shelves.
Right.
So, like, that's another failure in them going to be relying on that. That's not always accurate.
Because I'll tell you right now, when I worked at
any other warehouse.
I'm sorry, say that, Bully.
You can say that about any other warehouse if the accounts are.
That's why you should be physically in a store.
Yeah.
No, even if you're at the store, if it says like you have 3, you can go to the store and they could show up with 0. They could show up with 20.
The thing is, when you go in, like, okay, I'm just going off experience because of working inside the place. When it tells you online, if it says I have, okay, I'll do the new console. So let's say the console on this, like, inside online says it has 20 PS5s, right, and 20 Xbox Series X, right, online, and then you go to the store and it's technically it's technically a little bit more than that or less than that, because what's bought online is when they buy stuff online, it's already labeled and put away for that customer. So now you're working with the fact that it said it had 20, but the thing is slow to update. So now you have to worry about the store having just 5 inside of it, not just 20. So it's very, it's very apples and oranges when it comes to it. My thing is just like, it's better when it comes to games itself. Physically, yes, I would rather go inside to get the game or not have it shipped. Consoles, different story. So but it also is always a different reading compared to online than what's in the store, because let's be real about it. Some people are just very bad at their job and don't do their job very well and don't really put what they have in store, because sometimes those stores are still competing with other stores, because it's one of those things too. They don't want to say they don't have this because they may put their store at the bottom, or it's always something. There's a competition.
The district manager has got a beef at that store, so they don't get shit. Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna start wrapping this up, man, because I do have to get to work early in the morning. Final words there, Billy Youngblood. How do you feel GameStop is going to survive, and anything you want to say about Game Pass?
It's not bad.
No, click.
I am done.
I gotta go. So.
I am done with GameStop. Bye, GameStop. Bye.
Bully, final words.
Deuces.
It's a whole new topic.
Y'all can do it. I just got to go to bed. I got to be out.
No, I'm good. I said my piece. I try to keep it, but I love to have an argument. So
final words, Roundhouse.
Deuces, nigga.
Deuces. All right, you're done. All right, for me personally speaking, and I'm going to end it with a real quick story, because this is literally what happened this weekend.
I can't hold it.
Okay, he's going to the bathroom. So another reason why, what I've been saying about having a brick and mortar store is you never know what you're going to buy, and maybe sometimes just seeing it. I was at Walmart with my kids, and we went into the electronics section, and my young daughter saw the Pokemon game. Now, she had been thinking about wanting it, but like never made the push. But she saw it, and it was like, oh, maybe I'll get this. And I said, all right, well, we'll walk around. You got some time to think about it. Think about it. She may not have. She bought it. She may not have had bought it if she didn't see it in front of her and saw the possibility of her physically having it in her hand and possessing it. So I think that it's going to be the final nail in the GameStop coffin if they remove the brick and mortar stores, because I think that is the catalyst for a lot of their sales that they've had. With that being said, good. Since Roundhouse is back, Roundhouse, tell the people where they can find you online, brother.
You can find me. You can catch me in this. No, you can catch me on Twitch TV. Here Roundhouse 84. You can catch me on my Instagram, Chocolate Cub 23. You catch me on Twitter, which is here Roundhouse on Twitter, and yeah. And you can catch me on YouTube as well at True Story, Bro. It's another podcast that I'm on. We talk about a lot of pop culture stuff that we talk about in here, but very more in depth and everything. So we do get at each other as well on that one too. So those are my platforms.
Bully, where can the people find you online, bro?
You can find me at twitch.com/CorellianBull. And this week we're going to be doing some Mega Man X gameplays.
Ooh, interesting. Derek, where you at?
Twitch.com/TheOutsideRebel, and you can catch me tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, continuing my playthrough with Spider-Man Miles Morales.
I'm gonna jump in and surprise you.
That's awesome, guys. You can catch me here, Twitch, Max Phallus. As always, we thank you all for watching. If you're not here live, then thank you for the rewatch. Shout out to Magnum Knee High, awesome Twitch streamer. Shout out to Burns, BERRR. I think there's like 4 R's and then the N and Z. J Twitch, the usual suspects that like to come through and interact here with the chat. Thank you guys very much. And hopefully we'll start doing this on a weekly basis, man. It's fun having these discussions. We're all, well, not everybody, but most of us are home and haven't really even been in the same physical space in almost a year now. So this is the new norm, and let's just take advantage of it and keep having these discussions, man. Thank you guys again for watching, and this will be the final sign-off. Deuces.